father cheated with 12 different women and expected my mother to pay for it.
Well, she definitely paid for it emotionally.
And this comes directly from the OK subreddit.
No.
My 30 female dad, 58 male, has cheated on my mom, 56 female, multiple times throughout their marriage. He's now fathered almost 12 children. I'm number 7. Only 2 of us are my moms. And he just got my little sister's mom pregnant again. By the way, this comes from Series Automatic 5170. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And we'll try to give our best advice, but we haven't experienced most of these situations ourselves. So if you have, let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, growing up, my mom was basically a single parent. She worked 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week to provide for us while my dad was out cheating. I always said she was both the queen and the king in our home because she carried the weight of everything. My dad didn't help raise us or support the household in any meaningful way. Because of this, my childhood was far from normal. I worked 4 jobs as a teenager to help keep the family afloat. My older brother ended up on the streets doing things that eventually landed him incarcerated. We sacrificed and struggled because my dad chose himself over his family. There was a brief period where my dad gave his life to Christ and we thought things had changed. But when my mom developed medical issues, he backslid. He started disappearing, stopped helping, and went back to his old ways. My mom funded the house in our home country, and my dad already owes her over $10,000. Despite this, he recently asked my mom for money to come home. She sent him money, but he blew it on dates and dinners with the woman he cheated with. When I learned that my dad got someone younger than me pregnant, I got really angry. I told him it made me uncomfortable. His response? I had needs. I was hungry. What do you expect me to do?
I was hungry.
Feed me, Seymour.
Gross.
I was hungry. You don't understand.
Yeah, at that point, I'd be like cutting dad off. That shattered any last ounce of respect I had. Not only did he betray my mom, but his actions re-traumatized me in ways he'll never understand. But I'd never understand if you didn't listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Is this Frank Gallagher? That's crazy.
Oh, OK Billy Time?
Okay, Billy Time? That's crazy.
This is actually shameless. Wow.
I just think sometimes you got to cut your losses with people.
Yeah. I think if your dad is like this, takes no accountability, continues to behave in this manner, I don't think, like, if you just can't respect him, I don't know if there's a relationship to be had with him right now. It's really tough, though.
Again, this is one of our own.
Yeah. You know, I understand the feeling of being sad about losing that relationship and stuff, but I think, like, putting up boundaries for your own sake is important.
Very true.
The disrespect.
Yeah. I mean, just to say that to you, the whole thing of, like, I'm hungry. What was I supposed to do? That's so disgusting.
Well, man's got to eat.
When he asked for more money, I snapped. I told him, you can ask the women you cheated with for money to get back home, not my mom.
Love that.
I also said divorce papers would be waiting. That's when things exploded. For the first time ever, he cursed me out. He said he's not the one to be messed with. And I shot back, no, I'm not the one.
Oh.
You raised me to not be the one to mess with. He claims he's the king and my mom needs to know her place.
I'm not the one.
I reminded him that he was never the king. My mom was the one who sacrificed, carried, and provided. He only drained her. I also told him he taught me exactly what kind of man I will never marry. So am I wrong for telling my dad enough is enough? That if he can find his way into another woman's bed, he can find his way home without leeching off my mom. And you're very much not the wrong.
You told him what for?
He needed to hear that.
You told him what for?
He seems not like he's not the best guy.
He's a scumbag, dude.
And you don't have that relationship with him.
He's acting like a scumbag. He's behaving like a scumbag. He's a scumbag.
But that is the end of that story, folks. My ex-husband's mistress wants me to feel bad for her because he cheated on both of us. She's like, I know I cheated with him, but he cheated on me, so we're kind of the same, if you think about it. I don't understand why I'm in this situation. And honestly, I'm frustrated because even my own family tells me I'm the bad one here.
What the heck?
I just need a vent, and I don't need any advice or someone telling me do this. I think you should tell her this. I would write her this or this.
Well, too bad.
We're going to do that anyway. Sorry. By the way, this comes from No Designer 5831 on the OK Storytime subreddit. So, more than 17 years ago, my ex-husband cheated on me with a woman I didn't know, but she knew me. He left me for her. Our only daughter was a baby, and I just moved on with my life. I'm never going to fight for a man who makes immature decisions without first thinking about the consequences. He married that woman. I went on with my life, preferring to have a healthy co-parenting for my daughter. He never showed remorse, and he even told me that ours was always a mistake, and that woman was the love of his life. That helped me to realize that he's a total wiener and I don't need a man like that in my life. Now he cheated on her. And for some reason, this woman who always had a really cold, distant relationship with me is insisting and trying to talk with me every day. I found out about the infidelity from my daughter who wasn't affected by that, so I didn't think too much about it. The only thing that worried me was knowing if he was going to be able to continue having our daughter at his house on weekends as always. But his wife started sending me messages explaining what happened when I never asked her that. And in the past, I only spoke to her if her husband didn't answer my texts to ask something about my daughter. It's obvious that she needs to talk about it. It doesn't matter if I answer dryly because she sends me long audios talking about it anyway. I mean, I understand that she needs to talk about her husband's infidelity and blah, but why me? I don't want to be rude, but I don't care how she or he feels. In one of her audios, she says, "You know how I feel now, but that was 17 years ago. It's not the same." And if I'm being 100% honest, she can't compare herself to me at all. A woman who has just given birth to whom her husband tells her that he has been cheating on her for a long time with another woman who is not boring in bed and does know how to value him versus a woman who always knew that her husband isn't faithful and decided to marry him anyway. Anyway, I've tried to ignore her as much as I can, but even when I talk to my family or friends about this, almost all of them told me things like, "Oh, but she must feel lonely. But she wasn't to blame for being the other one. I think you should be more empathetic. She absolutely was to blame. We all need someone to talk to," or my favorite one, "She's not to blame for him being a cheater. You should understand her because she needs help." I understand that she is not to blame and he's the cheater, but she is totally an adult woman at the time, and she decided to marry a man she knew was sleeping with her while his wife was pregnant. So why would I now carry the weight of helping her when she never helped me by telling me, "Hey, your husband slept with me and that's really crappy because he's married to you"? Or that's what I'd do if a married man flirted with me. Now, if she didn't do any of that, then why is it my duty as a feminist to force myself to be her friend? It doesn't make sense. And the worst thing is that almost all the women around me tell me that I should help her and be her ear when I don't want or feel empathy for her or for him.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. No, that doesn't apply here whatsoever.
No. Like, this is ridiculous. Your friends are trying to push you into this weird relationship, make you carry all of this baggage, emotional baggage for this woman who wronged you.
Yeah.
Like, yes, 17 years ago, but like wronged you.
And you're having to go through again.
Because she's roping you back into it.
Yeah, you're having to go through again your husband cheating on you.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
What the heck?
I think she and he knew very well what they were getting into. I don't understand why I should be her free therapist now. Being cheated on is not my whole personality. I don't need to talk to her about that 24/7. I just chose to ignore her, and that's what I'm going to continue to do because I don't care how she feels, even if I'm a bad feminist for not feeling empathy. You're not. That is literally not what feminism is. Though all of your friends who are saying that are crazy. Sorry, my first language is Spanish, and I wrote everything pretty annoyed. And edit, no, I can't block her because she's still living with him, and I need to have her contact in case of an emergency with my daughter. Yikes. And honestly, it's weird to have so many comments and even private messages from people wanting to tell me what I should send to her and even writing what I feel. I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm going to use the message of a stranger who doesn't know me, how I feel, or the whole situation to say something to someone. I feel like a lot of people in the comments are reflecting their own traumas. And there is an update, but what do you think? Is there anything else Opie needs to do?
No, you already know what to do. New friend group, dude.
New friend group. Drop them. They freaking suck.
They really do. Did she just ask for advice?
She didn't want advice.
Yeah.
No, she
you already
didn't
know.
ask.
You already got what's right on your head.
Yeah. But there is an update.
Should we block the...
I would. I mean, they said she can't because she still lives with the dad, so they like need information about the daughter. But the second she's not living with them, out. You're done. Hi, it's been a while since I posted, and I just wanted to give a little update for people who were worried. First of all, my mother was a lover for a long time when I was a teenager, plus during my adulthood. The relationship lasted long years until he died. I think his wife never found out about his affair. Oh. That's why my mom manipulates me so much into not judging my ex's wife, because no one chooses who to fall in love with. Yes, but also you do choose how you react to it and how you go about it. And anyone who uses, oh, I was in love with them to justify cheating, messed up. My mother always reflected herself on that woman, and that's why she said that my ex-husband and his lover, now wife, are soulmates and I shouldn't get in the way. I was very young at the time. I could only lean on my mother for a little support. And well, narcissists always catch vulnerable people. Nowadays, I don't have much contact with her, but my daughter spends time with my family. And about my friends, well, I'm a feminist activist and opinions regarding lovers are divided because most of them are in the liberal side. Most of the times, it's seen as something misogynistic to judge them because they're a single woman and the man is the one we should blame. Plus, we need to be sororas? So I expected that reaction from most of them. I agree with that in most cases, but not in this one. I disagree with that as a very strong, proud
pro-feminist.
As a pro. I've got the pro. As a feminist, I don't think that as like if you are cheated on and there's an affair partner, I don't think that you should go after the woman and like freaking scream at her and put all of the blame on her. That's not the case. But I don't think that they're in the clear. I think it's like, when you get cheated on, you should be putting all of that anger and stuff towards and betrayal towards your partner.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean that the person who was the affair partner did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's how I look at it.
Unless you know the affair partner.
Then it's
That's
like,
the only,
okay.
yeah.
Because it's about who you're in contract with, I guess.
It's okay to feel the emotion of and anger towards that person.
Yeah, but you don't have to like...
Don't act on it. That's wasting your energy.
Wasting your energy.
The best revenge is investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm. I can feel empathy when the woman did not know or when she's a minor being groomed. But in this case, I do not feel any pity because she knew what she was doing. Women can also be mean and cruel. Women can also choose to be the bad guys in the story without someone manipulating us because we are not weak. And my ex's wife is that kind of woman. No one manipulated her into doing anything. I'm sorry that explanation was perhaps unnecessary, but there were people who didn't understand my family's and friends' behavior. And honestly, it feels good to vent. I have spoken with my ex's wife because honestly, a few days ago, I had a really stressful day and the last thing I needed was to see her messages in my WhatsApp. So I just exploded. I planned to continue ignoring her, but that day I was upset about things about my work and I ended up telling her everything. I sent her an audio telling her that I'm not interested in her life or in the fact she's suffering. I told her that I am not her friend, nor am I interested in being one. She never asked me for forgiveness and now she expects me to start the group of women cheated on by my ex. I told her other things and I would love to be able to post audios here. I told her that she knew very well what she got herself into. She knew well that my ex was capable of cheating on the mother of his baby, but she still decided to marry him and live the stupid fantasy that she could change him and that she was different from all the other women he was with. God, I hate long audios, but it was +5 whole minutes telling her that her situation and mine are nothing alike. I think that was my greatest catharsis. She got upset and we started arguing. It was quite tiring. And the last thing I want is to have problems after 17 years of having normal co-parenting. I know they are not going to get divorced, and that means I will have to live with her in my life forever. So I sent a message to my ex, resending him one of the audios she sent me. I took the work to listen to them all, and she never apologized to me.
Ugh.
I don't need her apologies, by the way. I don't care, but some comments asked me about that. They were just audios complaining and wanting us both to speak badly about him or wanting to have me as her free therapist. I told my ex to tell his wife to calm down and pay for a psychologist.
Facts.
He apologized to me and told me that they're both working on the marriage, so they're at a stage where she still feels angry and insecure with him. Like, yes, obviously, idiot. So since I have suffered the same, no, it's not the same, she felt that we could share the pain. He told me that they both started going to the online conferences of, I don't know what couple, who teach how to get over an infidelity. Sometimes I feel envious of people who can scam others so easily. We'll scam you unless you join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. Just tap our profile.
She's not obligated to do anything for this woman.
Literally, you owe this woman nothing.
Leave her alone. She got cheated on once. She doesn't need to relive it again.
No. Just honestly, I feel like you text your husband and you text this woman, put him in a group chat and say, hey, please do not reach out to me unless it is about our daughter. And that's it.
Can you do a no contact order for this?
I told him that I am not friends with her and that this affects our co-parenting, so he should put a stop to her if she doesn't understand what I say. In the end, he reluctantly told me he was going to talk to her, and I've gone 3 days without any message from her. Except today where she told me that my daughter was sleeping there. So I guess it worked. I don't care if they live a happy or miserable marriage. I don't care if she's happy knowing that he cheated on her but stays with him anyways. I just want to live in peace without getting into trouble with people who at 40 plus years old are still living mentally in high school.
This is definitely the idea of you if she never met the rock star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, right about now, OP's met the rock star.
She's about to meet him.
Yeah, it's
your time, girl.
This is your time. But that is the end of that story.
My husband cheated for 2 years, and now he says I owe him another chance.
Too many.
I'm 32 female. My husband is 34 male. We've been together basically our entire adult life. 13 years together,
Dang.
almost 5 married. One day, I followed a gut feeling and found messages on his phone. They were sporadic, and some were clearly deleted. But what remained wasn't good. I also found Instagram messages between him and a girl, including videos of marriage proposal ideas. By the way, this comes from Overall Confection 57, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. This girl had been a problem for a long time. She knew he was married, and I was always uncomfortable with their relationship. Turns out I was right. At some point, I found the courage to message her. They'd been together for 2 years. It went deep and personal.
Ooh.
He'd met her family and child. No one from his family knew. None of our friends knew. It was absolutely devastating. The lies he told her were pathological. He said we were divorced, that he wasn't living with me when he was, and made up court dates. I felt like I married a stranger. The summer that followed was incredibly difficult. When I initially confronted him, he was defensive and cruel. I stupidly gave him a chance to end it with her in front of me, but he didn't take it. It blew up when others found out, especially his family, who I'm extremely close to, more so than him. They were ready to disown him. After I shared the detailed information and his parents confronted him, he asked for forgiveness. At the same time, his mistress sent me messages showing him still maintaining the lie, saying they were strong together and begging her. We were all in shock. A couple of weeks later, he went into therapy and acted like none of it happened, claiming he was confused because of the uproar. I was obviously hurt because I gave up everything for him. He stayed in therapy and claimed to be trying to change, yet there was really no action on his part. I felt so conflicted because I gave up so much for him, and I'm close to his family. It's like I'm losing everything. I felt cultural pressure to stay and didn't want to look like an idiot to my family, who didn't want me to marry him because of religion, not his personality. I thought I wanted to work it out, but he barely showed me he was progressing or rebuilding trust. I was sick of giving him instruction manuals and him doing nothing. He was spiraling because he was embarrassed, and I was annoyed he kept putting his mental health and emotions on me when this was self-inflicted. He said he wanted to work at it and give me everything I ever wanted, but shouldn't I have had that from the beginning?
I genuinely don't think it's possible to work on a relationship where you have a partner who's cheated on you for like a year or more. Like when it's been a long-term lie, I just would be shocked that anyone could get over that type of betrayal.
It's such a deep, evil betrayal
Yes.
that he's not fully acknowledging. Coming home to me every day for years while doing that. I think I want to move forward with divorce despite wanting my family together, but I feel like I'll also be a disappointment to everyone. To
Nope.
my parents who will say I told you so. If your parents still come back and now say I told you so, they're kind of being little
A-holes.
a-holes
Yeah, if
there.
they don't come to you and are supporting you and saying I'm so sorry for what you went through, then, maybe it's time to limit contact with them.
I don't know anything else besides him. We've been together for so long and so many things are tied together. I wish I could move on and try, but I feel like I'll never stop thinking about it. about how deep it went or how long it would have gone on had I not found out. I feel like I know what's best, but when I see or talk to him, I waver because of history and family. We have an update.
No, you absolutely need to
Yeah.
end this. He doesn't want to fix this. He doesn't want to fix this.
He
And
does
what
not.
like what has he done to show you he wants to fix this?
I'm officially at 6 months separation and
Yay.
will hopefully be filing soon.
Yay!
My soon-to-be ex is doubling down and has made what should have been an easy process difficult. I did one round of couples therapy with him because I wanted a neutral party to get my statements across. He didn't like being called out. I tried to reach an agreement on our home, but he only wants to talk about saving the marriage. He is now being hostile and refuses to discuss selling. He believes I owe him a chance and need to take ownership of my part in this, that I need to listen to his feelings. He believes cheating is a two-way street. I had a lawyer on retainer, thankfully, and I'm hoping she can help force the divorce. When he left the house after our conversation, I found a hole in the wall. He said he tripped down the stairs and that happened.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you didn't punch a hole in the wall because you were upset because
Little baby.
your wife is leaving you because you a cheater.
Your little baby was sad about it. I'm a little scared and went to my parents' house. They're supportive despite me thinking they wouldn't be.
Yay, I'm so
So good
glad. I
people.
thought they would be, but
Yeah,
I'm glad that
you'd be
they
shocked.
are.
He apologized earlier today for how the conversation went and wants to talk again. But at this point, what else is there to say? I don't know why I have so much anxiety, why I start feeling bad and like I'm making a mistake, even though I've already decided. I'm scared of everything and he doesn't know I left. I miss my home and my bed and my comfort. I really wanted this to be amicable. And I'm still hoping he will be, but who knows? My lawyer is planning on serving him soon if he doesn't cooperate, which will cause a storm. I feel so lost and wish he could just be respectful of my decision like he said he would be in the beginning. After much back and forth, I finally filed for divorce!
Yes!
And we are in the process of selling our home. It's been extremely hard letting go of the house since it was bought in 2019 at a low interest rate. I'm afraid I'll never have an opportunity to own again, but I don't really have an option. Our agreement states that I'll receive more equity, which is at least a plus. Prior to filing, he wasn't signing papers. I hired a PI, private investigator, to get evidence of adultery that I could use to file a fault divorce if he hadn't agreed. The PI found he was living with his mistress the entire time we were separated.
Oh, separated. I was about to say how, but wow. Yeah, he better not get anything.
Including during the time he wanted to reconcile.
Of course.
And we had that therapy session. I was definitely shocked and disgusted. He also took a trip with her during this time, telling others he was going with me. Again, disgusting. He's been actively trying to find ways to reconcile with me, even since filing and agreeing to divorce. I've been thoroughly confused since he's still with her and has been seen out with her. He denies everything.
How is she staying with him, though? You know,
I mean,
she
she
knows
knew about it the whole time.
Yeah.
He denies everything, even with proof. He keeps sending me messages, trying to have conversations about working it out, getting remarried, doing whatever to be with me again. He won't leave me alone. I don't understand why he keeps trying with me while still living with the affair partner and denying it to everyone. The house is the last thing tying me to him, and I feel like he's prolonging the process on purpose. I wanted to keep it, but I think it's easier to just let it go at this point to be rid of him. I don't understand his motivations. He insists he's changed, says he's been in therapy and on medications, but his action says otherwise. He can't take no for an answer from me, even though he's still with her. It feels traumatizing for him to be saying all these things when he should have tried before and not now. But again, he's still with her. This is crazy, and sometimes I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about everything happening. I'm just tired. Update 3. Divorce is official as of this month.
Woo!
Woo! Exactly 1 year after I found out about his infidelity. To say it's been a ride is an understatement. Divorce was filed earlier this year, and he had still been relentless in his efforts for me to have dinner or coffee with him. I've said no each time. The house is still on the market, and it's
How
been much more
ridiculous.
difficult to sell than I anticipated. I'm dealing with conflicting emotions about selling and losing it. It feels like I'm taking a massive step back in life, losing a low interest rate, and coming to terms with possibly never owning a home again. But I'm hopeful things will be better and better opportunities will arise. Once the divorce was final, a wave of anger went through me, from how long it took to feeling of injustice surrounding everything. He continued to ask for us to work it out, of trying to essentially buy me with vacations, cars, anything. It was such a strange experience. And even now, he's still trying to meet up. And by the way, you can always meet up with us by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search for OK Storytime. For what? I have no clue. He's still with the mistress as well, and I fully expect him to be married by the end of the year. Overall, I think the real healing is starting now. I've been in survival mode for a year, and I hope my house sells soon so I can sever the final tie. Although it doesn't make me less sad about having to move, hopefully I can get my number changed soon so he can't contact me anymore once I move.
Yeah,
I hope you
block
can
him in
too.
every way that you can once you're divorced. My husband had an affair and somehow they got the happy ending. That's just not fair. 14 years into my marriage and into what I thought had been one of our happiest years, my husband had an emotional affair with a married woman. They were ballet partners during the day while I was working, going to school, or caring for our 2 children. By the way, this comes from No Hovercraft 4144, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations. So let us know what you would do in the comments. Just 3 weeks into knowing one another, they left their spouses and started a life together. But not after spreading so many lies about the state of our marriage. That we were just roommates, I wasn't supportive, our marriage had been passed away, all lies. We divorced just 3 months later, a week after our 15th anniversary. Now, 3 years later, they are engaged. I have had a lot of therapy and struggled with severe depression during this time period, but I've worked very hard to make sure my kids are having a wonderful life to the extent that I have made pains not to speak poorly about the ex and the girlfriend in front of them. They deserved to be able to feel like they can love those two without somehow feeling like they are betraying me. Well, now they absolutely love her and have a fully formed family. Their engagement has suddenly put legitimacy around how they started their relationships with others, as though what they did to create their relationship was somehow okay because they ended up together. It makes me feel like a throwaway human, easily replaceable. It's as though my pain is no longer valid because they were meant to be. It's hitting me really hard. And quite frankly, I have so many feelings about this being unfair. Why do they get the happy ending and the family that I once had? Why did they get to be the affair exception to the rule and not only stay together but thrive? And why the heck do I still feel this level of pain 3 years later? I feel as though I'm the only one being punished here and for something I didn't do. Anyone else been in a similar circumstance? And there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, the happy ending hasn't happened yet, as who knows whether they will be happy. Please don't base your own happiness on what happens with them. OP responded, I'm really not trying to base my happiness on what happens to them. It's just still painful. I'm glad to hear that you have made other better chapters after experiencing one like mine. That's very encouraging. Thank you. Comment number 2 says, happy ending, LOL. You just have to sit back and watch and give it time. Let them have their big party. The poor way your husband handled his life so far doesn't show that he has the capability to live a life of integrity by his weak actions and dishonesty in how he chose to navigate his relationships. The only way he will become a successful husband is if he's completely turned his whole life around for the better. He skipped this important step in life. He's off on the wrong footing. Time will tell this. So sit back and just observe, humor it, and be grateful that you're not him or her. Opie replied, I mean, I guess that's true. I don't really know if it will be a happy ending. It just seems that way right now. They did go to therapy and work on some of his issues, and presumably hers, and I'm not sure if their relationship is as amazing as I have it in my mind. He definitely skipped the most important step of tiring his life around before getting with her, though, and has never spent a minute alone. I'll try and take your advice and be grateful to not be either. Thank you.
That's like the thing to look at. It's like when your partner gets with someone, like an ex or something gets with someone very quickly after your relationship. And it really sucks.
Totally.
But then you kind of think about it and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm taking the time to be alone and to learn how to be alone.
Yeah.
And they can't do that. And it does
Right.
help.
There is an update.
In September of last year, affair partner seemed like an absolute wreck and asked to come to my place to talk. I had been keeping my distance from her, but she is a person with heavily involvement in my kids' lives, and if she was experiencing something that's difficult enough that she'd come to me, of all people, I should at least listen. Such an idiotic mistake. She told me that my ex-husband has been gaslighting her, that he had promised her children and immediately has gone back on that once they were engaged. She wanted to leave him, but was torn about the impact on the kids. I told her that it's her decision, but if she leaves again, to not come back. The last time she left was devastating to my kids. She also expressed that her parents kept trying to get her to leave because they worried about her mental safety, thinking that my ex is a self-absorbed person. He is, and no, he isn't safe, but up to that point, she seemed to be the same. She went on about all the love bombing and apologizing for her part in my pain. Apparently, getting to that point made her realize what I had experienced and that I wasn't the villain that he had portrayed me to be. She ended up leaving my ex and moving to Florida. Wow. Okay. See?
Plot twist.
Everyone was right. Turns out it wasn't really a happy ending after all.
And what do you know, OP? You probably are much better off than them.
She messages me a lot, at first for support. She talked about the crazy things that he was saying and doing and to try to get her back, all while he had already started a new relationship immediately. She was grateful to have someone who understood what it was like to have been in a complex, emotionally harmful relationship style like his. We weren't friends, I'll say that. It was more like a support group style chat. Once she settled in and started dating, she checked in about once a month. I last heard from her in mid-April. She and her boyfriend had broken up. My ex had also broken up with the new woman, who he had already introduced the kids to, and he had been sending her messages again. She was upset, but said she blocked him. Then in late May, I received a message from her that earlier in the month, after a transformative time apart, she and my ex had secretly gotten married. The kids were being told about it the same time I was, and she was driving to Colorado to move in the next day. On the kid pickup day, I asked if we could talk. Obviously, what's done is done, but I wanted to tell them that I worry about them doing this cycle of leaving again to the kids and to talk about our parenting schedule. When she left, I agreed to a temporary schedule where I had the kids more often while my ex figured out some things. The ex then called me controlling for making him go back to our legal schedule and said, deep breath, that the reason they didn't work out the first time was because I made it hard for them, and if I don't want the kids to experience something like her leaving again, then I shouldn't make it hard for them this time. She then chimed in that I simply don't want him to be happy and never have. That all she said when she left was just words out of a place of sadness and needing support, but she didn't mean them. She was basically using my own trauma and experience in my divorce and twisting it to make me sympathetic to her and use me for support, which makes no sense to me. Why try to keep contact with me like this if you weren't expecting these things? I lost my crap. Like, yelled and screamed like a crazy person. I have never done that before. I was furious that they would blame all of their difficulties in a relationship that came out of both of them cheating on their spouses on me, not making it easier for them and also putting their future success on my shoulders. My ex has always put everything that makes his life difficult for him as being my fault, always, and that was a part of his mistreatment. It still hits me in a hard way, and he knows it. I absolutely hate that I gave them the fuel they need to paint a picture that I'm crazy, and they are somehow the heroes of their story. The worst part is that the kids heard me yelling. That hurt so badly. I never want them to feel the pain that comes from interparent yelling like I was doing. My ex and the affair partner made me apologize to the kids for my behavior, which was demeaning. I always talked to my kids about things and would have discussed what I did and said how I felt, gave them room to talk about how they felt and may have been hurt on my own and without them standing over me. But they need the story framed a certain way. And I need you to listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. There is a little bit more to this story, but
I have no idea what this woman is trying to get at.
yeah.
It's a fair partner. What do you want? Do you want OP to help you get away from her ex? Do you want to frame OP as a bad parent so you can keep the kids? I don't understand.
Then the affair partner sends me an email saying she appreciated my support and understands why I may feel the way I do, but that she's in it for the long haul and will be the best stepmom ever. I ignored it. Anyway, that's the last update. I feel angry and emotional and really sad that this circus is my life until the kids are adults. Comment number 1 says, stop engaging with them. Stop talking to them. Only communicate via a co-parenting app. Stop letting your hurt and your pain fuel their fire. They are not good people. They never have been, and they never will be. Supporting a fair partner was a mistake. She's a liar and a cheat. I'm so sorry you had to learn this the hard way. Going forward, don't respond to anything that is not directly about the children. OP replied, I only communicate with my ex through talking parents, and it was that way with the affair partner too until this happened. I completely agree with you about only responding to things about the kids. It was a hard lesson to learn. I always believed that people are multifaceted, not all bad, not all good, but this was a big lesson for me. There was a comment replying to OP, you're a good person and judge them by your own standards. Unfortunately, they're nothing like you. Revert back to how you previously communicated and focus on yourself and your kids. They sound like a hot mess, and next time they break up, ignore them both. And that is the end of that story.
That's
Wow.
my advice too. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
You just have to
honestly.
learn how to like let all of their little comments and their little like tiffs between each other roll off your back.
Yeah. My goodness. Yeah, that's like the most you could do. And I wonder if there's any way to hold on to any sort of like physical receipts of this behavior
Yeah.
and like how it's affecting the kids. And I wonder if you would be able to get full custody of your kids.
Potentially.
You know?
Potentially.
I don't know how that would work, but it's something worth
Yeah,
looking
something to
into.
work towards too.
Yeah. But that's the end of that story. We've got another one coming right up.
I discovered my wife's conversation with a coworker and they're making fun of me.
Oh, that's the worst.
A few days ago, I, 33 male, noticed my wife, 31 female, deleting a text thread, which is something she has never done. I decided to check her laptop as texts go through there, and I was shocked to find that she was having spicy, explicit conversations with a coworker who also happens to be married and just had a child a few months ago.
Oh, no.
Dang. By the way, this comes from throwaway 03739-209, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia,
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, for context, we have been together for about 13 years and married for 4. We both work in demanding jobs in healthcare. Like any couple, we have had plenty of ups and downs. The last couple of years have really been a rut. It has felt like we are constantly more irritable with each other. Our intimacy has been nearly gone for a while now.
Oh,
However, we both felt this may be part of depression and hormonal issues that we are having and working on. Another issue that bothers me is that for the entirety of a relationship, she has made jabs at how men always cheat and that I will someday cheat on her.
she just wants it to happen.
I'm sorry, the whole relationship she's been saying that? Because that's a giant red flag.
You're gonna cheat on me. I know it. If you say
Yeah,
things
you make them true.
and put them out there, what's gonna happen, Sophia?
You make them come true?
Kept saying that, but she never said, I'm going to cheat on you.
I'm going to cheat on you.
She forgot that part.
Her previous relationship before me ended with her boyfriend living a complete second life with a different woman.
Oh my gosh, those are the best ones to read too, by the way.
She used to go through my phone when she felt I was texting a particular female too much. Given all that, this current situation just enrages me. The coworker of hers has always been a close friend for the last 3 years. It's been obvious in the past that he had a crush on my wife, but I have never seen any evidence that it was reciprocated. He has sent suggestive texts in the past, and she had shut it down, insisting he likes to get a rise out of people.
Oh my gosh.
No. And that's what I'm saying. Hey, you should probably go to HR if he's harassing you.
The next time I want to, have some spicy related talks with a coworker, I just say, she's excused.
Wait.
To get the rise out of
Yeah,
people.
they just like to get a rise out of people. What?
Didn't he just have a kid too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a few.
I would be calling that out. In the last few days, I have seen texts of 2 of them complaining about their spicy sleep lives, talking about how much they want to have spicy sleep with each other,
No!
sending nudes.
No!
He even has sent an explicit photo with part of his wife's face in it. Claiming he wishes it was my wife. Oh my goodness.
They're wild. They are wilding.
Oh my goodness.
She just likes the thrill, OP. She just wants the thrill, and that's why she's so bored with you.
There has been a lot of complaining about me and about his partner. Now, we do not spicily gratify them. Yeah, his partner who just had a baby. She has been trying to stay on top of deleting threads, but often does not think to delete the stuff from bedtime to overnight. I am fairly confident nothing physical has happened yet. Part of me feels guilty for this. I have not been a perfect husband by any means. I've always been the one to do all the chores at home, care for the pets, cook, do our laundry, etc. I will admit, though, that I am not the most emotionally available husband. I'm just not a cuddler or an overly spicy person. I understand this affair is her choice and not mine, but I do feel like I pushed her into this, and I feel the guilt of it. My problem is that I do not know how to approach this. At first, I was shocked and angry. Now, I am numb and emotionless. Part of me feels the writing was on the wall for this marriage a while ago, and this is the final blow.
Dang.
Our family lives are insanely intertwined, and we literally share the same friend group. Yeah, I mean, it's been 13 years. I don't know if I should just be trying to move out and figure things out, or if I should just be getting a divorce at this point. I know I will be gaslit when I finally confront her, and I don't even know how to confront her. I also don't know if I should tell the other guy's wife.
Yes.
I feel guilty given that they just had a baby.
Oh, you're going to feel real guilty if you don't.
You should tell her.
Mm-hmm.
Reading this back, I understand I probably look like an idiot for not already having left, but I'm struggling. Any advice? Leave. My advice is leave. Tell that guy's wife, get your affairs in order, get a lawyer, and leave. Edit. We do not have kids, just pets. The relationship felt like it was going south for a few years now, but this was completely unexpected. I truly do not know if this is something I can forgive and move past or not. Edit 2, another big issue of mine is the amount of disrespect thrown at me in those chats, which she laughed along at. Me washing her panties that he got soaked, or making them dinner while he does stuff to her, though I think it was physical. I don't know if that's something I'll get over. I'm a non-confrontational, pretty go-with-the-flow guy, but these jokes are pretty foul. Even if I get over the spicy texting crap, it's hard to process how she can laugh along at stuff like that. That's like literally psycho behavior.
Yeah. She's a
To
little bit of
be
double
with the
life.
person that you're making fun of.
Wait a second.
What?
Oh, wait, wasn't she with someone that also lived a second life?
Yeah, she's has a second life now. She is being with a person who now, like, she's that guy's second life because he has a kid and his wife. And she's gonna complain about someone doing that to her.
Yeah, we gotta
You're as
leave.
bad as the person who did it to you.
It's not gonna last whenever you break it. It's not gonna last.
Comments. Comment 1. Most people commenting seem to think all the blame falls on your wife. I think you're wise to recognize the ways you have also failed in your marriage. It takes 2 for a marriage to disintegrate. I think the best way to determine if your marriage can be saved, it can't be, is to talk to your wife about what you read and state the things you wrote here about the ways you wish you had behaved differently. Tell her you love and value her and want to work on improving things. Suggest couples therapy. I don't think it can be saved. I don't think I could ever forget the text that she sent.
If she wanted to save it,
Yeah, she would have.
she would have talked a while ago. Not anymore. We're done.
And again, I think all of those past red flags, even more so, kind of show to me that this cannot be saved. Because
Yeah.
it isn't just this, it's the whole marriage.
Well, at least you don't have kids, man.
Yeah, at least you leave pets. If she really loves you, she'll come around. OP says, a big issue of mine is the amount of disrespect thrown at me in those chats that she laughed along at. Me doing stuff for her. I don't know if that's something I'll ever get over. But there is an update 1 week later.
I cannot see a world where she comes back at all.
Yeah, I'm really hoping he gets it all together and divorces her.
The fact that she did all of that, manipulated you at the very beginning of your relationship of I think you're gonna cheat on me. I think you're gonna cheat on me.
Yeah.
And then also just the cherry on top is she's making fun of you while she's cheating on you.
Yeah. The audacity.
It's weird.
Wow.
I think this is the time where you finally find yourself OP and you cowboy up, you get a spine, and you know what? You just get out there.
That's
Get
a
out
good
of
point. Yeah.
But there is an update 1 week later. I ended up having the confrontation early last week. It wasn't exactly when I had planned it, but she knew something was up as I had emotionally checked out over the few days leading up to it. Some background info I learned / not provided in the original post. The texting had gone about a week total. It turns out I had discovered it pretty early on.
Oh, wow.
Although they had texted a lot for the last few years, I've seen them in the past, and there was nothing like this / genuinely just work-related stuff. There was also a lot of remarks about the intimacy between us fizzling out, indicating that it may be a sign of the affair being physical. Our intimacy has dried out for the last year or so. We had chalked it up to stress, work, hormones, depression up to this point. In terms of the confrontation, there was no arguing or fireworks. I laid out a lot of grievances about the betrayal and the incredible disrespect I felt. I also pointed out the rage I felt over the hypocrisy of accusing all men of cheating for years. She swore up and down that nothing physical occurred between them.
Oh, that makes it all good. We're all good then.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what?
fine. Oh, thank goodness.
I think sending a photo is physical.
Yeah, I agree. I get it's naive of me to believe it, but for various reasons, I do. When I initially threatened to tell the other guy's wife was when the first wave of defensiveness began. She begged me not to ruin their family with a new baby and focus on fixing our marriage instead. Opie wouldn't be ruining anything. This guy already ruined his marriage and also is making fun of his wife who just had a baby.
She's wanting to bring him back. Is this?
I like how she said, OP, you don't ruin that marriage. You can't do that.
You can't ruin the marriage.
When both you and that guy.
Yeah. You ruined your own marriages, y'all.
I think she's throwing a Hail Mary here.
I think so. I was also told how the OBS will definitely tell all their coworkers, and now both her home life and work life will be ruined.
Oh, no.
Should have
OBS can
thought
do
about that.
I was like, I heard that too. I kind of went, what?
OBS. They are both contractually bound to work together for the next 5 years. Her reasoning was that I have not made her feel desired like a woman in a long time. That she gave into hormones. Shut up. As he was saying things that made her feel craved. Multiple times I did feel like the situation was minimized. Statements such as, nothing physical happened. It was just spicy texting. Have not sat well with me. I also felt like I was being blamed for this. To clarify, we have talked in the past about trying to be more romantic and stuff like that. I still feel like that does not mean doing this crap is acceptable. It isn't. I admitted plenty of my shortcomings during the confrontation, but also reaffirmed that what she did was so insanely wrong. Opie's like, yeah, maybe I made a couple mistakes, but you cheated on me. So,
Boom.
who really wins?
Roasted. Stop pointing at my shortcomings.
Stop. I also reached out to the guy. He was clearly panicked and swore up and down nothing physical happened.
It was just a picture, man.
It's just a picture. He begged me not to tell his wife and ruin his life. Dude, you ruined your own life. All of these cheaters who always beg the person who finds out not to tell their family, their wives, etc., are so hypocritical.
Yep, it's that one word that defeats them all.
Mm-hmm.
Accountability.
Yep, can't do it. He claimed his son is his entire world. Clearly not. Which I rebuffed by saying all he did was complain about him to my wife. Not long after, he blocked me on everything and was texting my wife to not let your husband move out. And is he going to ruin my life now? Shut up, dude. You suck. I wish I could say that I took my pets and stormed off and moved out like I dreamt up in my head. Sadly, all I did was move out of our room and demand time and space. Dude, he's still texting your wife. She has been saying she will respect that, but has been persistently approaching me, asking to talk about our marriage for the last several days.
Why did she not block? Oh my gosh.
A few days ago, she asked me if I would be willing to see a marriage counselor with her. I begrudgingly agreed. During our first session, I admitted I am unsure if I want to save this marriage or not. I was not a very active participant as I was quite checked out. It had only been like 3 days since confrontation. We have more appointments coming. I have told her that I am unsure I will get over this betrayal. I have also told her it is clear we have significant incompatibilities. She's been begging me to try as we have been together for so long, so clearly something works about us. Yeah, like complacency.
Yeah.
She has been trying to be affectionate the last couple of days and getting me
No.
to reciprocate, hold her hand, give her a kiss, compliment her.
Dude, this is only going to last like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Until like the guy hits her up again. I have not told the other guy's wife yet. You need to. I have not decided if I will or won't. Morally, I know the absolute correct decision is to tell her. However, as mad as I am at my wife, I'm not trying to just ruin her entire life. This poor woman
Throw a spine.
is completely in the dark about the fact that she is being cheated on while she is raising her husband and hers child.
She'll be living a lie. That's ruining her life.
Mm-hmm.
I am not out to get revenge on people. This isn't revenge. It's literally just the right thing to do. I grew up with enough confrontation, and I'm definitely a non-confrontational person now. I have also not ruled out telling her yet, but I'm just thinking on it. I apologize for how much this post is just a rambling mess. All in all, emotionally, I feel passed away. I have lost all joy in my life, and I'm just doing the motions. I do not know if I'll be able to get over this to save the marriage, and I do not know if I want to save the marriage. Our lives are just so intertwined that splitting will be such a difficult and miserable process. My closest friend is the only person who knows, and they have made it clear that divorce would be their only choice if they were in my shoes. I am lucky to have had their support during this, but I do feel guilty for just trauma dumping the situation. I know most replies will be that I should have already started the divorce process, and I wish it was that easy. I will value advice, and I know quite a few people had asked for updates. I definitely missed a lot of info and will try to reply as I can. Thank you.
What?
And there is an edit. For clarification, yes, I have a large chunk of these texts documented and saved.
Okay, good.
I do not know if I will ever get over this. When I told her that I don't know if I'll ever get past this, she told me how she knows that I hold grudges against people.
Dude.
Bro, this is not a grudge. She's manipulating you, referencing my poor relationship with my parents these days. I definitely feel like there's been minimizing of the situation, but she frames it as trying to move forward and learn from the situation.
Dude, she's just using all this therapy talk to get out of it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
2, I also just learned that he texted her last night to complain about some work situation to her. I was told they were completely done speaking to each other, but it turns out the only person getting blocked is him blocking me after I confronted him. And there is a second update.
We're done.
But I mean, like, how? How could we possibly continue the relationship when she is still talking to
Who's
them?
more annoying here, OP or OP's wife?
Oh my god.
Both of them. Both of them.
Who's
piss me
more annoying?
off.
Who's more annoying?
I think the wife.
The guy's annoying. The guy's
I
annoying.
think the wife is a
The
little
guy's
bit
the
more
most
annoying,
annoying.
than OP. Update 2. At my breaking point.
Now you're there?
This took you a long time to get there. 5 days later. I truly feel like I've hit my breaking point. I feel completely numb half the time, and the other half there is a deep, raging self-hatred. I despise who I am and my life. My entire life I've been told nothing but what my faults are. Perfectionist parents who never once helped me build any pride, but only tore down any accomplishments. I recently found out my partner of 14 years was having an affair with a coworker, and I have been processing that as well. Seeing all their texts and her reasoning only validating all those thoughts about how everything I touch or do is a failure. I have almost no true reliable friends. The worst part is I have a large group of fair weather friends who are around when times are great. If I confide in someone how I'm feeling, I can just feel the disgust and repulsion. I work in a fairly depressing field in medicine.
Oh no.
It seems like it's just you're not happy in any parts of your life, and so we need to make a big change.
We do.
I get fulfillment from my job, but it's constant people passing away.
Oh wow.
A not insignificant amount of my coworkers think my specialty shouldn't even exist and that we just hold patients' hand and listen to them cry. I find myself coming home from work and just sleeping. I know I'm depressed. I've always been depressed. I'm on antidepressants. I recently started therapy, but I just feel done. I go to sleep every night. Oh my goodness. Whoa, OP's in a very
gosh.
dark place.
Oh man. Sorry, OP.
My pets are probably the only thing keeping me going at this point because they rely on me to be fed. Otherwise, I have nothing. And there is an update.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so
OP
he
needs immediate therapy and also to get out of this relationship.
Man,
Honestly, maybe move. Maybe move, find a new job,
Start a new
start a
everything.
hobby.
I
Yeah.
can see that. That could
You
definitely
need to start
help.
over because I don't think you're happy in any area of your life. Update 3. I've received a lot of messages asking about updates. For background, we have been together for 13 years and married for 4. No kids. She does seem to be showing true remorse recently. Don't listen to her.
Nope. Those are crocodile tears.
Fake. She has been very open about how badly she messed up and destroyed all our trust. I can't say whether this remorse has moved me at all. I still feel checked out. I've just been coming home from work and sleeping the rest of the day. Tries to get me to cuddle or hug her, but honestly, I just feel so empty at this point. It's just going through the motions. I do actually feel bad about how I've been, but this has just struck me so deeply at this point. She has broken off all contact, it seems, with the other guy. She's blocked him on everything and avoids him at work, according to her. I've told her that I'm always going to have this bit of distrust in the back of my mind now. We have been continuing therapy, but honestly, it still feels like it's her trying to justify the circumstances that led to the affair. We have clearly identified a lot of huge incompatibilities in our relationship. She wants to fight to change and be stronger, and I just don't even respond still. And there is an update 12 days later.
Oh, no.
So I'm OP. Last month has had me in a
Good to
very
know.
dark place. I have continued to feel like there's many, many moments of minimizing what happened and many moments of true remorse. I became paralyzed by the stress and shut down. This week, I made the decision to move out. Yay! Woo! You did it! You did it! I packed the essentials and booked a hotel. Her parents paid a huge chunk of that house, so I'm not asking her to leave. I've begun reflecting on everything. And I see that our relationship has been trying to get past some horrible incompatibilities. I finally have my answer that divorce is the right option.
Okay, we're here now.
We are not happy together. She cheated, and I'll never get over that. She is begging not to, but I will be telling her that I am done. And for the affair partner's wife, I will tell her too. Update 5, 11 days later from the previous update.
Please tell me you are
Yeah.
somewhere else in a work field.
Please. You're somewhere else. You're lying in the sun, on the sand, drinking mojitos. A lot of people messaged me, and I appreciate the support. The last month has been pretty gosh darn miserable, to say the least. Regarding telling the other guy's wife, she knows now. I honestly thought she would just find out eventually, too.
Yeah, they didn't really seem that smart. But did you tell her?
Yeah. Turns out he was texting similarly with 2 other nurses at the hospital, and she caught him.
Oh!
Sucks to suck.
But
Bye.
she worked there.
But you didn't tell her?
Yeah. She then found text messages from my wife he had saved on his phone. We spoke briefly, and I apologized for not telling her sooner, but yeah, she knows. Regarding my marriage, every single day I waffle between divorce or not. Why?
Waffling needs to go down the divorce route.
There are some days where it feels like she's being accountable, and some days where there are nasty arguments. She still gets mad when I say cheating as nothing physical happened.
Oh my
We just need to start
gosh.
saying, you emotionally cheated on me.
Yep. Or,
If she keeps arguing about that, then you go, okay, fine, you emotionally cheated on me.
or get a dictionary. I don't know.
She still gets mad when I make it seem like it's all her fault and I didn't contribute to it. Yesterday, she told me that she should have effed him, so at least she would have gotten something out of it. Divorce her.
Oh my gosh. It's like she's blaming you for
Yeah.
crashing the car because the brakes weren't working, but she clearly was driving the car off the cliff.
Yeah. Today, she blew up on me for saying I'm not being accountable for what I did to lead to this happening. Yeah, not exactly the shining example of accountability.
Shining.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. By the way, if you want to be accountable for your actions, you should listen to full episodes with stories just like this.
Yeah!
Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story.
Dude,
Any final thoughts?
I don't want a final thought.
I just want you to divorce your wife.
Your ex-wife's the final thought.
Your ex. Make her your ex. Whoa.
That almost got me.
Make her your ex, please.
Make her your ex, find a different life, and be the mysterious guy at the bar for a little bit.
Yes. Go to the sun.
Go to the sun.
Dive into the
Eat
ocean.
your mojitos.
Yes.
A mojito?
Eat the mint from your mojitos. She told a few of our friends and our family a very half-butted story which excluded the affair entirely. And that blamed me almost exclusively. It's gotten to the point where one person said it felt like a PR campaign. She's shown her true colors whenever I tell her we aren't going to recover. She shows how nasty and vile she can get. I won't list the countless other examples. Anyways, yeah, I know plenty of people will feel like I'm being a coward not having left already. I don't know why I'm having this stupid paralysis with it. I do feel bad as our pets were devastated when I temporarily moved out. I know that's not an excuse, but every stupid little thing weighs on me. It's hard throwing away 13 years like this. But if any of my friends came to me with this, I would recommend divorce.
That is a good thing. 'Cause
yes, look at that.
be like, if your friend came to you with this,
Would you tell them to accept that?
yeah.
Or would you say, hey, hopefully I grow a pair and just pull the Band-Aid off soon. I appreciate everyone's kind messages that I've got. And that is the end.
What? He hasn't actually done
We
it?
don't
He's in
know
the
if he
process.
divorced. We don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
He's in the process.
I think he's getting there slowly. But
That
I
is
think
tough.
He's getting there.
That is really tough.
My husband refused to cut off his coworker, so I'm leaving him.
Cut off the coworker, dude.
Me, 40 female, and my husband, 47 male, have been together for 11 and a half years. Married for 4.5 years. So here's my dilemma. Sorry for length. We have been together for 11 and a half years, married for 4.5. I have 12-year-old twin boys from a previous relationship, and we have a 3-year-old girl together. By the way, this comes from Horror Princess 57, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, my husband has traveled for work for about 9 years now.
Oh.
At first, he had work colleagues that he would travel with, gone for a week at a time. So obviously, he traveled with both men and women. One woman in particular started to become a problem within about 4 to 5 years of him working with her. It started that he would bring her up in casual conversation all the time, which I didn't really mind at first until it became more frequent. Then, once I brought it up that it made me uncomfortable, I had never had a problem with her before, he stopped talking about her altogether. Then came when we would go on vacation. She would call, he would press the accept button, and before she had a chance to say anything, he would say, the wife and the kids are here in the car. Which I thought was weird, but brushed it off. The very first time she called, they talked for about 20 to 30 minutes, and when they hung up, I asked who that was. He says, oh, it's XYZ, and then immediately goes to trash talking her. She's crazy, she talks too much, she dresses weird, etc. Which to me was red flag number 1. Yeah, he's like, this woman sucks. Oh, God. Oh, every time I think of her, I just want to throw up.
He's trying to unscent the trail.
Yeah. Then another time we were on vacation. Same thing with the wife and kids are in the car. And they proceeded to talk for over an hour while you guys were in the car.
That's kind of weird. That happened to me once on a road trip.
hate
and
that.
I was like, why are we calling people? Why aren't we just hanging out?
Sam does it all the time in the car.
Yeah, I was with Sam.
I have to be like, Sam, I want to talk to you. Sometimes I don't mind because it's someone I want to talk to too. Fast forward, I found out that they would stay in the same hotel. He offered up this info and went out for dinner while they traveled together. I found this out through the text between them, which was fine at the time because I trusted him. Then came the bad feeling like something was wrong. So I went through his phone. Seemed like some parts of conversation were missing, but otherwise normal office banter and work talk. Sometime later, months and months, I get that bad feeling again and go through his phone again.
I think they're smarter than this, though.
Yeah, I feel like
They
they're
don't.
hiding
They
it.
wouldn't say what they're doing. Since they
They're
work
not
so
that
much
smart
together.
if they're having hour-long conversations while OP's in the car. Pretty
Yeah,
silly.
but they work together. Why can't they just wait for that? Maybe he does love her.
Yeah, maybe he's in love with her and he just can't wait. So originally, he had 2 separate names, 2 separate numbers, and 2 separate conversations in there. The next time I checked it, one name and conversation was completely gone, and the other conversation and call log was at least 75% deleted. His excuse was that he deleted them so that I could see any new messages coming through easier. That was red flag number 2.
Oh, boy.
More time passes, and I bring it up again that I don't like this woman, and whatever they have going on makes me uneasy. He proceeds to tell me again that she's crazy, she's just a friend, and he's pretty sure she's into women. Also, this time he gets super defensive and storms off. So that was red flag number 3.
Oh, man, he's not doing a good job at cheating. We could
Yeah,
write
yeah.
a book on how to cheat.
Yeah,
So-
that would be bad. That would be a bad book to release. But we could, but we won't because
I think
that would be
we-
using our powers for evil.
Okay, yeah, we can write the book. It's 1 page. Don't cheat.
Don't cheat. He also has been on 2 vacations without me. Las Vegas.
What?
Of all places.
Wait, without you?
He's been weird with his phone, like turning it away when he texts,
Ah.
deleting texts with possible affair partner. He's been short with our daughter. Also, one day, out of the blue, he says, if we ever got divorced, you would take full custody of our daughter, right?
Oh, my God. Just checking.
Just literally totally hypothetical.
Theoretically.
Like, this is all hypothetical here, but what you would take our daughter when we get divorced. I mean, if we get divorced. If I cheated, if I were cheating on you,
Dude, you know, he probably has a list of things to ask wife before
Yeah.
getting divorced, and that was one of them.
yeah, he's like,
It's
okay.
2 more
If we
left?
were divorced, would we have separate? How would we separate our bank accounts?
That's probably on that list.
One morning, he got out of the shower. I was getting dressed, and he walked in, grabbed his clothes, and got dressed in our master bathroom, which he has never done to my knowledge, even though he tells me he gets ready in there every morning before he leaves for work.
Okay,
Or leaves for the week.
what's weird for this?
I don't know. I made a post on our anniversary and tagged him in it, and none of his friends liked or commented on it, which leads me to believe he didn't approve it to show up on his feed. Same with the 4th of July post I made and tagged him in. The time before, when I brought things up again about possible affair partner, he really offered no real solutions, and at the end said, "Can we put this behind us so we don't have to talk about this again?" So everything came to a head tonight.
Dang.
This guy is 100% cheating.
If he really wasn't cheating, how can I ease your mind with this?
Babe, it's Vegas.
Nah, this man is like cheating more than, I don't know, he's the cheaty McCheaterson. And he's the worst at it, too.
Babe,
He's the worst cheater we've seen.
what
Well, not
happens if
maybe not
Vegas
worst.
stays in Vegas?
But
Oh no.
but he's pretty bad. Yeah,
No.
he's like, "No, babe, you don't understand. Nothing happened in Vegas because I can't tell you."
Stay there.
It's like Fight Club.
Either.
First rule.
I can tell
duh.
you. We went out in our garage to talk, and I said, "I don't know how to start this, so I'm just going to say it. I need you to come clean. I need to know everything that's been going on because I can't keep doing this and feeling like this.
Oh,
And if you can't do that, I'm going to leave." And he said, "OMG, what now?" So I started in again on possible affair partner, and he immediately got super defensive, saying that he doesn't know what I want from him. There's nothing going on. What do you want me to say? So we yell. I'm crying. He asks what I want him to do, but every time I tell him, he acts like he doesn't have a choice and that he can't get rid of her because they work together. They don't. They work for the same company, but different departments now, and no longer travel together. And they live across the country from each other. It ended with him telling me, "I'm not going to get rid of her. If she calls or texts, I'm going to answer."
Oh, there we go. There we go. Dig in
He's
deeper.
cheating with her. He's
Keep-
a cheater.
Keep digging, OP. You're close.
I should have gotten up right then and told him that that was the end of the conversation because he's obviously made his choice. And you did, right? You did, right?
Right?
Right.
No, left.
We yelled a little more and he stormed off and left. Came back after about 20 to 30
See?
minutes.
See?
Nice.
There are many, many more red flags. I just don't want this to be any longer. Opie's like, "Don't worry, there's actually a lot of worse stuff. It's getting too long."
Yeah, this is a long enough story here. Oh, OP. Dang.
OP.
The thing that sucks,
Yeah.
she doesn't really have definitive,
Proof. Or at least enough proof for her to be like, "Well, I know, for sure."
and I can go through divorce pretty easily,
Yeah.
full custody of everything.
Well, it seems like he would give her full custody
Yeah, that's true.
based on the hypothetical. I know how bad this looks, and in the back of my mind, I know what I need to do, but starting over, especially as a single mom, is terrifying. But I also can't keep living this way, especially if he's not willing to be honest and transparent with me. Also, I know I don't have the smoking evidence, so leaving on a bad feeling and some red flags doesn't quite sit right. Have you been in this situation? What did you do? What would you do if you were me? Any advice welcome? Thanks. And there is an update, but what do you think?
I'm stuck on she lives across the country.
Yeah.
And
Well, I feel like that's why they're calling and texting so much. They're behaving as if they were in a long distance relationship.
I see.
I think that you have enough. I think that you need to stop gaslighting yourself into thinking that you don't have evidence, because you do.
There's a way to get better evidence. Though.
And you can, if it helps you, you don't even have to make this about cheating. You can say, "I have noticed that anytime I try to bring up a conversation, you don't want to have that conversation. I've noticed that you're pulling away from me and our daughter. I have noticed these things," like things that you can actually pinpoint that make you mad or upset or uncomfortable. And you don't even bring up the cheating. You say, "You know what, regardless of what I think about that, these are things that I've actually seen."
That's tough. Ugh.
Tough.
Oh, OP. Good luck.
Update. Husband admitted to emotional affair.
Oh,
There
I don't think it
is.
was just emotional.
I don't think so either. Well, maybe because they were so far apart.
Well, they would travel together though.
It's true. 2 weeks later, like title says, we sat and talked, and he finally admitted that they took the friendship too far,
Oh.
and it crossed the line into an emotional affair.
Oh.
I don't know if I'll ever get the whole truth. This is a woman that he traveled with for work, He says he only traveled with her 12 times in 5 years, which I'm pretty sure is not true, but whatever. They stayed in the same hotel. I found out they would go to dinner when they were traveling together. Give it to me straight. What are the odds he's telling me all of it? 0. 0. He swears up and down that he's only been with me spicily since we got together. Will there still be trickle truth? I'll admit I feel a weird sense of relief, because at least I know I'm not crazy now and my intuition wasn't wrong. And edit, he says they haven't talked in forever, that he doesn't even remember the last time they talked. But just 2 weeks ago, he was willing to lose everything for this woman. It's just not adding up.
Yeah, no, you lost him.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no,
That's a tough one.
If they had dinner together and were traveling together and staying in the same hotel, they were probably having a physical affair. Edit. I don't know if this matters, but he also recently got diagnosed with HPV. I do know that HPV is super transmittable. I've done a lot of research. And that it can lay dormant for years or even decades and doesn't necessarily get picked up by spicy means. Although I think that's not the majority of cases. Yeah, he definitely got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there is an update a month later.
Oh, boy. Can you get
you
through
should get
divorce in a
tested.
month?
Yeah, divorce and get tested. But you wouldn't be the a-hole if you wanted to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search Focus Storytime. And we've got a little bit left of this story. 1 month later, I have decided that we need to separate for however long. We each get individual therapy and go from there, huh?
Oh, boy.
I don't like how that sounds.
He needs to tell the whole truth before you do that.
Yeah. This means that I will be moving back in with my parents, which I don't want to do. But it's better than being where I'm at and feeling how I'm feeling. I feel that this will give me the clarity I need to make a decision to see if we can make this work and we can truly reconcile, or if I cannot move past it and we need to just end things. I don't know why I feel this way, but I truly am at a crossroads. The bigger side of me wants to just rip off the Band-Aid and get a divorce, and the other side loves him. We have kids, etc., and want to make this work. I don't know if it's possible, though. I don't know any words of encouragement or anything really is good. Divorce.
Yeah. I had an affair with a married man. Then he left me to face the backlash.
What? You're leaving me all alone? That's crazy.
I know what I did was wrong, and I don't deserve sympathy. I'm 25 years old, and the married man I had an affair with, I'm going to call Mr. L, is 65. By the way, this comes from Throwaway658. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Keon.
And we're here to give advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. If you have any comments about the story, please leave them below under this video. So OP says, I've never had issues getting men's attention, and I've always been complimented on my looks, but I stayed single and was very independent and ambitious. I was in a relationship with Mr. L since February of 2021 when we first had spicy sleep.
Let's call him Mr. Lex Luthor.
Mr. Lex. All right.
Yeah.
Mr. L's now Mr. Lex. But I've known him since I started working at my previous job in August of 2020, where he worked and retired from. He was my manager.
Oh,
Ooh.
boy.
We initially had a strictly professional relationship. I went to him for mentorship and admired his leadership skills. It started as mentorship and then escalated into spicy related relations. I've been going through a very hard time. My mother was losing her eyesight, and as the oldest of her children, with her being a single parent, I took over financially supporting the household. Okay, that makes sense. I'd missed a lot of work because I was stressed and depressed about my home life. When I called Mr. Lex to explain why I was missing work and said I was going to quit, he encouraged me to stay strong. He gave me life advice. We talked on the phone and texted every day since December of 2020. And had a spicy related relationship since 2021. I knew he was married, and I knew it was wrong. I had never been in a relationship prior to the affair with Mr. Lex. For the next 2.5 years, we did everything together like it was an actual relationship. We celebrated holidays together like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Valentine's Day, but it would be the day after or before celebrating with my family. He spent time with me and my family. My mom didn't approve of the relationship, because I'm an adult. She said, you're grown. There's nothing I can do. Okay, when is he spending time with his wife?
Good question. Great question. Maybe he's just not. I don't know.
He would come to my apartment every day after work. And when he retired, he would come over whenever he could. telling his wife he had to run errands and he was going to church.
Oh man,
Oh, you're gonna
used
say
church?
you're gonna use church as an excuse for an affair?
This is using the Lord's name in vain.
That's diabolical.
I'm not going to say I didn't love him. I really did. I grew up in a single parent household and my family is toxic. No one shows love or compassion for another. After being intimate for 2 months, Mr. Lex told me he loved me and hoped I felt the same. That's when I fell in love with him. He showed me love and affection I'd never had before. Okay, right at the beginning of this, she said, I am not wanting anyone's sympathy, but it feels like you want her sympathy. OP.
I think I was yet again confused this whole time. I thought for some reason this was Mr. Lex was getting with the mom,
No.
like the backstory, but this is so it doesn't matter how old the mom is.
No, we were just saying the mother
We were
didn't
just-
approve of it.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah,
probably
yeah.
like, whoa.
Okay, yeah,
I'm the same age as Mr. Lex or younger.
right. Someone said 40-year age gap in there, and yeah, that is concerning. That is concerning.
Great.
This is all very concerning.
You good? Anything else you need catching up on?
No.
Okay, great. So, he told me he loved me every single day for 2.5 years. He took me on dates, spent weekends with me at his home whenever his wife was out of town, which was every other weekend.
Oh my gosh.
He took care of me when I was sick or depressed. Mr. Lex was the only person I told about my childhood. I never met my real father, and my stepfather was an awful man. Mr. Lex said he would still love me, show me true love, help me get over the trauma of my past, and that he would never hurt me. My family didn't believe in depression or mental health issues, and Mr. Lex was the first person I could actually talk to about my depression. He was encouraging and supportive. Whenever something bad happened, I could run to him and he would fix it or comfort me. Sometimes he would hold me for hours while I cried. My family never did any of that for me, growing up or even as an adult. Throughout the relationship, I did try to leave Mr. Lex. I loved him with all my heart, but I was hurt about being the mistress. I didn't want to be the mistress anymore. It started to make me feel depressed. When I would tell him I needed to end the relationship, he would cry, beg me to stay with him, and say if I really loved him, I wouldn't give up on the relationship.
That sounds manipulative.
I don't like this story.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. This is gross. Like, this is just all gross.
This is very gross. She's only 25.
Yeah.
And
Because people, I think I've generally agreed that around the age of 25, you're kind of like old enough to make your own decisions on like, being with an older man. But a 40-year age gap with stuff like this happening is just kind of like,
40-year age gap when he's married, and you know he's
Yeah.
married.
so that's just a lot of, I just don't like it.
I wouldn't.
I don't like it.
He would be persistent, saying we could make it work and find ways to spend more time with me. He called me his queen, true love, not his wife. If I ignored him, he would just keep calling me or sending me romantic songs and messages. I didn't want to give up on the man I loved. He also said he wanted to be the only man I gave my body to, and that no other man would be able to make me feel special like he did.
He's so manipulative. This is disgusting.
I truly believed it. He would get jealous or enraged when I discussed dating another man, saying I never loved him if I choose not to be faithful to him. Although I loved him, he did have a bad side. He had a bad temper. If I made him angry, he would say harsh things about me and my past. We have an update. Why did you leave that till the end, OP?
OP, this
Girl,
is not a good relationship.
girl.
Like at this point, it's not like the age gap on top of this stuff feels like it makes it worse. But besides the age gap, this is just like a bad relationship. Like it's manipulative. Dare I say abuse is very possible if
Yeah.
he's insulting her like this. Like,
This is wild.
yeah.
Update. 2 weeks ago, we're doing our usual routine. I was spending the weekends at his place after not being able to see him for 2 weeks because of my new job. It was romantic and fun as usual. The morning I had to leave, I was emotional. Once again, talking about how I should leave him and that I deserve better. We were arguing, and I refused to leave until I was done with what I had to say. Long story short, we were late leaving his place when his wife was on her way home. He was upset, saying his life would be over if he couldn't come up with a good reason. When he dropped me off, he would usually hug me with my bags and leave me with a hug and a kiss. But this time, as soon as I got out of the car, he sped off. I called him confused, and he sounded so cruel and like a different person. Not an ounce of love in his voice. He said he was going back to his wife and wasn't doing this anymore.
Oh,
Okay, good.
I mean, sure, good in the long run, but that's so awful to OP though. So awful.
I asked if he could just come back and give me a hug and say goodbye at least, but he refused. He wouldn't even say goodbye. I was just crying. 10 minutes later, I called him back, and his daughter, who's 37, yelled at me saying it was over and that I should know better than to be with a married man. His wife got on the phone and said she was staying with him and that they were Christians, and she was going to try and forgive him. Then he got on the phone and yelled at me, saying it was over and never to contact him again.
Oh my gosh.
Wife, you may be Christian, but your
He's-
husband's not acting that way.
He's definitely not acting like it. And if he's acting this way towards OP, his mistress, then I'm sure he's saying the same stuff to his wife of like, oh, you would be a bad Christian if you left me,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah,
Or you are supposed to forgive me like what the Bible says or something.
Depending on what church they go to, divorce is probably not on the table here.
Oh my gosh, this is an awful man. Awful man.
Then his daughter got back on the phone yelling and calling me names, constantly screaming, "You slept in my bed!" over and over. Husband, boyfriend, Mr. Lex, you did it in your daughter's room.
Ooh.
Her room. She didn't live there anymore. Had it since college. Was a room where we used to have spicy sleep.
Yeah.
Why didn't we tell things that? Why? What? That doesn't seem like it's pertinent to anything. Like, oh, I've been cheating with this girl. All right, great.
Yeah.
Why do you need to say where and when?
Right.
Well, I mean, we had to
You-
figure
yeah,
out the reason why she called her back.
Oh my gosh.
He must have told her. Since that day, I've been a crying mess. I cry all day, every day. After the harsh phone call from him and his family, I was crying and angry. I exposed her text messages to his siblings and extended family. I also told the church where he was an elder and deacon and had been attending for decades. The church wants to investigate all the allegations and wants me to give a statement to their committee. They also took him out of his leadership positions until the investigation concluded and they came to a decision. I hate myself for what I did out of anger, and I know it's not going to make me feel better because it hasn't. Mr. Lex threatened legal action prior to me telling the church, saying if I spread information about our affair, they would take legal action. Mr. Lex also threatened to file a restraining order if I ever contacted him again after the day he broke things off. It's ironic that every time I tried leaving him, he would constantly call me or contact me, even if I told him to leave me alone.
Oh my gosh.
We have comments.
I don't think he'd be able to contact her or do a restraining order on her, right?
Try and sue, because I'm a counter sue.
Yeah, right? Like I'm gonna argue. I mean, hopefully OP can get like records of the calls and messages of him asking her to come back when she said to leave him alone.
Yeah.
And hopefully like she hasn't deleted messages. You can screenshot, you can, go back to recordings if you have them or something like that, because my goodness.
Yeah.
That is wild. And the fact that he threatened to get this restraining order against her the day that he was leaving. So this was before all of this stuff was even happening.
Yeah.
And that is so terrible.
And also, OP, good thing you're telling the church, like, he don't need to be praying over anyone or saying he can do stuff. That's living in two sides.
Yeah.
I had my first counseling session with a therapist.
Good.
Although the pain is still there and strong, it was very eye-opening and cathartic to realize the pain and release it and have someone to talk to about it, since I have no family or friends to talk to.
Oof.
She confirmed that I already realized about myself, that me not having any male figures in my life and a family full of single mothers, I got attracted to a man who I initially wanted mentorship from when he was my manager. Because he was an older male who I admired, gave me attention, and was teaching me new things, He was what I was lacking in a male parental figure. I wanted his approval and attention. Talking about the relationship makes me cry badly, and unfortunately, during the next session, she wants to go into how the relationship started and the dynamic. It makes me sad talking about it. I'm not excusing what I did or saying it was right. My therapist agreed that what I did was wrong. I want to be different and not have the lack of positive male figures in my life affect finding a healthy relationship and true love. Unlike all the women in my family, they all didn't have fathers and had kids with irresponsible men who weren't in their lives or their children's lives. I grew up without a father, grandpa, and my uncle doesn't support his children and doesn't care to be around his family because of his strained relationship with my grandma. I don't want to be like that. I want to break that generational curse so badly. There aren't even really any married women in my family.
I'm sorry. I can't. I want to feel bad for OP, but I cannot feel bad when you knew you were sleeping with a married man. And yes, he manipulated you, but it's like a two-way street on that, where like you knew that, and you're like, oh, I want to break the cycle of that, and then you continue to do that. I can't. You're contradicting yourself with that. I'm sorry.
Well, how I'm kind of seeing it is like she made a mistake getting into this relationship, and what we're realizing in therapy is like why that happened and something to be aware of in the future. And then like even though yes, she made that mistake and she shouldn't have gotten with the married man, it is apparently harder for her to leave because of how manipulative he was. So it's kind of like I don't know. I feel like there's a way to not scold her, I guess, but like I feel like she probably understands like the mistake that she made and the bad choices that she made that brought her into this mess.
Yeah.
But I feel like what we can have sympathy for is what like we don't have to have sympathy for that, but we should have it for how he treated her. I feel.
Yeah. Well, no,
But
100%. That too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just again. Oh,
Huh.
It's hard. It's a tricky situation.
One of the other hard realizations is that I don't have any friends. My mom moved us around a lot growing up, and I really never made friends. As an adult, I became introverted. Plus, I moved to a new state. These past 3 years, unfortunately, I only hung out with a married man. At 25, I feel like it's too late to make lifelong friendships and even go back to college.
No.
I left as a sophomore and didn't really get the college experience. Losing my job as a flight attendant has devastated me. I want a career, not just a job. And that was an actual career with good benefits. Now it's gone. I want to break the cycle of poverty in my family as well. I've been poor my whole life. That's another thing I admired about him. Successful career and how he loved his daughter and was always there for her. That made me fall in love too. But I want to find that in a single man. I think, OP, I'm going to give you this. You know what you want in a man, and you found some of those attributes in Mr. Lex. But I think it's wise that you know what you want in someone, and you're hopefully going to find that in another guy.
You will absolutely find that in another guy that is closer to your age and single.
So, my question for you, internet mom and dads, is it possible for a woman with no male figures to find a good, healthy relationship with a man and true love? Real quick. Yes, I think you should start with friendships and explore that with, some male guys, like good, healthy male friendships. And then you can maybe find like a healthy relationship. 2, is it too late to make lifelong friends at my age? Keon?
You can make friends when you're 99. It's not, yes, it takes a little bit of effort, but you can find like a common ground and you can work on it. Yep. I 100% agree that 25 is, don't even think 25 is old. Look at Riley. He just turned that.
Yeah.
I feel like I just
He's just a
gained
little boy.
10 years.
Yeah.
I really do. My
Yeah.
confidence has gone up.
I
a
feel
lot.
like too, if you're looking for like lifelong friends, I mean that is kind of a hard thing to find anyway. But if that's what you're looking for, you have kind of less life, or it's easier to do as you grow older.
And another question, will I always be attracted to older men? And how do I fill that void of never having positive male figures in my life? And last question, how can I start breaking the generational poverty? I never finished college. I feel so lonely without a supportive family and no friends. P.S. I'm taking the Zoloft, and the church still wants me to come in and make a statement in person to the board of elders. He and I will make statements at separate times. They will look over the evidence and decide what to do with them. I hope they don't put him back into a leadership position. He's temporarily demoted until the investigation is finished. I have all of our texts and proofs of my injuries,
Oh.
plus him admitting to what he did.
Oh, God.
Oh, girl.
Well, that's a lot worse than I thought.
I would be devastated if he just got a warning as a punishment. Update 3. Hey, internet mom and dads, it's me again. I can't talk to my real mom because her only advice to my whole life has been, get over it. I'm still taking my Zoloft and going to counseling. If you want to take advice from people, take advice from people whose lives you want to be like. Like I'm not going to be taking advice from, relationship advice from someone that cheated on their wife. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take it, career advice.
We wouldn't take it from Mr. Lex.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take career advice from like someone that is comfortable in their job. I want, take advice from people you want it to be from. I'm still taking my Zoloft, but I didn't realize until after the affair was over and I've been away from him that I seriously dedicated 3 years to this man. I just moved into a new city and a state when I met him, and the pandemic started. All I did was work and go home. I was too paranoid to go out in public because of the pandemic to meet new people, and I was too busy trying to make money and start my own life. I only hung out with my mom and siblings who had moved here with me. And then once I met a married man, since he worked at the same job, he was the only person I hung out with. I think at least the married guy has a family that loves him to go home to, a wife. I'm so pathetic. I have no one. I'm realizing out of the whole situation, I'm the loser, not him or anyone else. I made him my life. I did everything with him. Instead of making friends, going out, I only went out with him. Celebrating my birthday or anything else was only with him. If I needed someone to talk to, him. Someone to vent to or cry to, him. For 3 years. Please help me, internet mom and dad, with some comfort. If you met him, you wouldn't believe he did any of the things I said. He just seemed like a nice, God-fearing man. Most of them do. Till they start breaking the God-fearing rules.
Yeah.
Update 4. I've been on my healing journey from the whole ordeal.
Good.
And I've had some good days and some bad days.
Yep.
Well, one night a few days ago, I finally checked my Instagram. I've never been big on social media and was rarely on it. But since the whole ordeal, I chose to stay off it completely because I didn't want to see my flight attendant coworkers from the job I had to leave having so much fun traveling. I have chosen to check it to motivate myself and to get back into the industry. I have my profile set to private, but you can still message me. The married man's 36-year-old daughter messaged me throwing insults. The one that stung the most was that she mentioned me being homeless and asked how it feels to have nothing at all.
Oh my God.
She also mentioned me being in her bed because I didn't have one of my own and that I have nothing and will never have anything. She also mentioned how it feels to have pursued a married man and failed. She said I was pathetic and made other cruel comments. He's the only person I told about me and my family being homeless. It's been a very sensitive subject for me. Being raised by a single mother, I've experienced homelessness growing up. I wasn't even homeless the entire affair. It started in February of this year. He said he didn't judge me for it, and I shouldn't feel ashamed. I just broke down and cried for hours. I was already having a rough day. Job searching hasn't been easy. My mom was the only one I had to confide in. When I told her about it, she told me she didn't know why I was crying, that it was my fault. I played with people's lives and was playing a big girl's game I couldn't handle. She said I should have just played my part, but no, I had to mess it up. I wouldn't be taking advice from your mom. When she said this, I broke down so badly, she wouldn't even give me a hug like I asked. I had started drinking when I'm not even a drinker, just to try and numb the pain, but I just cried all night. And you can put the bottle down and listen to us to numb the pain on your favorite podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
Dang, this is so tough for OP.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm going to get it going.
Go ahead.
I guess my mom liked that he gave me money and gifts and whatever me or the family needed, he helped. But it really broke my heart. The pain is indescribable. Everyone blames me. Not once has my mom or anyone blamed the married man. Not once. It's like he's an angel. I'm not saying I'm an angel by any means, but what my mom and his daughter said have crushed my heart and soul. I didn't grow up in 2-parent households, going to private schools like his daughter. I had a rough life and have had to get everything on my own. She also mentioned how she's married with a new baby and I've got nothing. Of course, I didn't respond and blocked her. Please, internet parents, I really need you.
Well, yeah, you're 11 years older than me. Like, what do you want me to... Like, I'll get there.
Yep.
You're 11 years older than me.
Yep. I think, OP, you, like, understand in a way you were a victim, but once you pivot your mind and your perspective of you are bigger than this and you start surrounding yourself around people that are in better positions, because your mom's still kind of in the same position. Whenever I started hanging around John and Sam more, I was like, wow, I can really do a lot more with my life. I can start, like, thinking bigger and doing this. It's really who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And I think you may have picked up really good things from this married man
Yep.
the time that you were with him. And I think you just need to
Well,
surround yourself with people that are ambitious about life.
yeah. Continue going to therapy. That's amazing. That will be a support system for a while. Just one day at a time. Try to stay busy, do things that make you happy, and everything will fall into place. I promise you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I refused to let my husband have my daughter after I passed because he cheated.
She's mine forever.
Trigger warning for terminal cancer. I, 50 female, am passing away from esophageal cancer. I likely will be entering hospice sometime in 2024. I just want a final holiday at home. My husband James and I have been married 3 years, but have been in a romantic relationship for a total of 5 years. By the way, this comes from user Throwaway Ambi. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And we are here to give you good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers. We're working on it. But until then, just let us know what you would do in the comments, because we only know what we would do. And OP says, besides my 10-year-old daughter, Amy, my husband has 3 kids of his own. My daughter is actually biologically my niece, but I adopted her when she was 1 because her biological dad passed away from an OD, and my sister had done something horrible for which she is still sitting in prison today. A lot of moving pieces. None of them are great.
No.
Amy will be well into adulthood before she gets a shot at parole. But in my eyes, and I like to think in everyone else's, Amy is my daughter. For a while, I thought James would be yet another example of biology not making a parent. I thought we were a family and that he was completely devoted to me and to Amy, just as I was to his kids. We spoke of adoption, and the first time was about 2 years ago. Then I began getting sick, and this fell by the wayside. 2 months ago, I found out that James had a one-night stand with a coworker 4 years ago. We were having a rough patch and hadn't been sleeping together, true, but he blamed it on being wasted. Does not matter.
Doesn't excuse it.
Doesn't matter at all. I know people who would get wasted and would tackle someone to the ground before they would cheat on their partner.
Yeah.
She later quit without notice. She decided to find me online and expose him after they wouldn't take her back at the restaurant. I had a feeling James was hiding something after he stormed off from our fights. Now I'm passing away and stuck in therapy dealing with this. He claims he hasn't cheated since, and I do not have that suspicion after that period, but I don't know what to think anymore. He begged me not to divorce, if only so he could take care of me and for his health insurance. But now all he's been doing is agonizing about adopting Amy. All I'm thinking about is that he had this one-night stand, but there must have been flirting beforehand. He was the taken one, so he should have had the impulse control and respect for his partner. I don't like what that says about his character and feel he isn't as sorry as he ought to have been. During our conversation, he said he loves Amy and admitted that he cheated, so he's a cheater, but he argued that the mistake doesn't take away his care for Amy and her welfare. He said he deserves any punishments regarding our marriage, but punishing him would also punish Amy because the state would step in the moment I pass away. I know that if I were healthy, I would have either divorced him or put my energy into therapy. I've spoken with a lawyer and am considering divorcing him because I cannot stand infidelity. The fact that he did this makes me worried about whether he'd again let his impulses cloud his better judgment, whether that could extend to letting an unsuitable partner in because he sees spicy sleep and nothing else. James is upset and says that my parents are gone, and the only relative I have is on welfare with 5 kids. But I want to rescind my offer because I don't trust him anymore. Am I the a-hole? He keeps saying, do this for Amy. And there are some comments. Boy, oh boy, that's hard.
Yeah, you're not the a-hole at all. And if you don't want this person to parent your child because you don't trust them, because they betrayed you, that's incredibly reasonable. But I guess it's just like, what is the other option? Is the other option, which might be, she goes into like the foster care system, better?
Ming Ming in the comments says that he could be after the insurance payout if there is one. That's something to consider. I mean, is your daughter just going to get that money when she becomes an adult? Like,
how old is the daughter again?
10.
And I think it's also considering what she wants to, because she is 10. I mean, obviously she's not old enough to make all of the decisions, but
yeah,
old enough to kind of have thoughts.
I think you've got a lot of stuff moving and there's a lot to process, and some of what he's saying may be true, but how can you now trust that?
Yeah.
Because, he's been lying to you for 4 years by not coming clean with that.
I really think it's just like, do you just trust him more than you fear like putting her in the foster care system? Because that might be true. But the other option is the foster care system, because you have no other family members to take her in, which is also very bad. So yeah, you kind of have to weigh both bad options.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Comments. Comment number 1, have you spoken to Amy about this? It is going to be a horrible discussion to have, but he has played a father role in Amy's life, and tearing her away from him and her step-siblings after she's just lost her mother could worsen the trauma, which is true. You need to consider Amy first. She is nearly of the age where her wishes would help sway a court decision in a custody dispute here in the UK. Being with her stepfather and step-siblings might be something she would prefer. It's also possible that it is the last place she would want to be, unless you were with her. OP downvoted. That is the age of 12, and it pains me to say I won't live until she's that age. I've known state child welfare workers, and they are overburdened, but they care. The state would be making a decision anyway. Reply says, if this isn't rage bait, OP is petty to the point of sociopathy. Imagine just throwing your child to the wolves as an FU to your ex. That's not really, it's not an FU to your ex. It's that
I don't
she's
trust
like,
this person to take care of my child anymore. But I think that commenter is wrong, but it is a question. Is he a bad partner and a bad father, or is he just a bad partner?
Comment 2, it's a crappy position to be in, but from the sounds of things, his bad behavior 4 years ago has nothing to do with his competency and obvious desire to adopt your child who he's been fathering for 5 years. You're hurt and under a lot of stress. I think anybody would understand your hesitation and concern, but you have to do the difficult thing and put your own feelings aside to decide what's best for Amy. And judging by everything you've said, I think you probably know that allowing him to adopt her is what's best for her. Reply, I worked in the foster care system for about 3 to 4 years, and it is truly upsetting to see kids sit there for years or be shuffled around from place to place because of whatever reason the family can't or won't keep them until they age out. The likelihood that Amy would find a permanent home, especially at her age, is pretty slim.
That's a good point.
OP's upset and hurt should not be the reason Amy ends up in the system.
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
Yeah. I completely understand that she has every right for her pain, but in the end, the only person she will truly be hurting is Amy. OP, if you choose to put your pain and punishing of your husband over Amy's well-being, you are the a-hole. If you love her as you say you do, you will put aside your anger to ensure she has a stable and loving home and family. While your husband was wrong for his one-night stand, you would be cruel to let it influence Amy's future and well-being. And there is an update.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the foster system is just so bad. Take a look at both of those options and pick
I agree, and
the lesser.
I would say maybe structure the life insurance if there is an insurance.
Yeah, make sure that any money that she would inherit wouldn't go to him.
Yeah, that needs to be structured in a way where he can't influence that money whatsoever. That she would be the sole, beneficiary of that.
Agreed.
Of that money. And there is an update. I have read a large majority of your comments. Some of you have been very compassionate, but I am astounded by how many people think that my last act as a good woman is to turn the other cheek and laud a cheating husband. A lot of comments dismiss me simply because I'm passing away, which I think reflects the commenters' lack of emotional fortitude. I hope they treat their own ailing relatives with more introspection. I am not here to complain, just to give an update. It's been less than a day, so nothing is definite yet, but here it goes. Regarding my relationship with my husband, I've decided that, passing away or not, I have to stick to my original stance. If I were healthy, we would likely already be halfway through a divorce because I cannot stand infidelity. I don't know if my previous post made it clear, but I've been speaking to a lawyer about divorce. As I said in one comment, we probably have around $50 to $100 before payday. Sometimes our checking account is as low as $13. I do thank my husband for allowing me access to our checking account even when seeking legal counsel. I also know our state has many self-help legal and legal aid resources. I intend to file for divorce. There are hospice facilities that offer care for people who cannot afford hospice. Divorced or not, that would still probably include me. If things get bad enough, I'm fine with not burdening others and just going to the ER and letting them take it from there. I defended the foster/adoption system because I am an adoptive parent, but I also value family, so I reached out to my cousin who makes an income, not necessarily a bad one, actually only $3,000 less than what my husband makes, depending on tips. She just gets assistance because she has 5 kids. I don't
like this.
I don't like it either, and I think
don't like this.
I think this is a case of like where doing the right thing isn't always doing the good thing.
Yeah.
Like, is it righteous and correct for you to be like, my husband cheated on me 4 years ago, and
Now
I
I'm
don't
divorcing-
tolerate
Yeah.
infidelity, so I am divorcing him? It's like, yeah, that is the good thing to do, but like, you're also sick, and he has the insurance,
Yeah.
and he's been raising your daughter.
I can never know what she's going through, so I don't want to, she's not doing any of these things lightly and is going through an immense amount of like pain and just a very hard time. However, I don't love the line about, well, I don't need anyone to help me. I just go to the ER. Until the point of your passing, you are the parent to your child. What happens to her in the meantime?
Yeah, I don't know.
And also just to even say like, oh, well, I support the foster care and adoption because I'm an adopted parent. You were an adopted parent to...
Yeah, it's your niece.
Yeah, her niece.
I
That's
just don't think
totally
it's
different.
gonna be best for her to take her
Yeah.
out of what she knows and put her in with 5 other kids.
Yeah,
that,
also that point. That's what I was thinking. 5
that
other kids
she
that she
doesn't
can't
know,
afford, really?
Or yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but 5 kids is a lot to
Yeah.
integrate into.
None of this really seems like the best option for your child.
Yeah. Kat says wrong thing for the right reason.
Yeah.
She said that if she needs to take in a blood relative, she knows the resources to care for my child. She recognizes this is sudden and a lot to ask, but she feels it is her duty to do her best on my behalf. And by the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on our behalf. Just go to your favorite podcast platform, wherever you listen to podcasts like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Search OK Storytime, and you've got the entire archive available to you to browse at your leisure. There is a little bit more story left here. Let's finish it off.
Yeah.
She said she cannot promise anything beyond a bare bones life, or that she won't struggle greatly in the beginning, but she will do her best. If the thought of my daughter being with her stepdad upsets me that much, I trust my cousin to manage it responsibly.
No. What?
I don't think it's fair to stay with my husband after denying him this, and I know he resents me. He claims our state favors biological relatives and that he'll fight regardless. I'm okay with that, but not with his assumption that my cousin would melt down and give my daughter up for adoption. That is not who she is. I am no longer asking for judgment, but hope that my intention to give my daughter to a blood relative instead of the foster system gives some of you peace as it does for me. Our state strongly favors biological relatives, so hopefully my daughter will be in a stable situation before I pass. And that is the end of that story.
She's never going to be in a stable situation if you do this.
Yeah.
Your cousin said, I cannot give her anything but the bare bones. She said, I will find resources to help her. Your cousin can't afford your child. She just can't. She's admitted that.
Yeah.
She might love her. She can't probably give her the attention that she deserves with 5 kids, especially if she doesn't have the money to afford 5 kids already.
I got here mid-story, and OP's using her daughter as a weapon.
Yeah, she has a terminal
I don't even
illness.
think it's
Yeah.
that.
It's not a weapon.
I don't think she's
it's-
trying to use her
yeah.
daughter as a weapon. I think this is like a Game of Thrones Ned Stark situation where it's like her sense of honor
Yes.
or her sense of justice is blinding her from just like what would actually be the best path forward.
There was a line that she said earlier, Keon. I don't know if you
I probably
heard
wasn't
it.
here.
Yeah, where she said, I was thinking about what I'd do if I weren't, if I didn't have a terminal illness. You can't think that way
But
because
you
you do. You do have a terminal illness.
It is different than that.
It's
It is
different.
not the same situation.
The daughter's 10 years old, right?
The daughter's 10 years old. OP got rid of her health insurance, is pursuing divorce, is probably spending the little money that she has and can give to her daughter on this divorce. Like, honestly?
And I get it. It's trying to bring, I guess, justice and honor to, being cheated on.
Yeah,
But like, you can't use that through your
And
daughter. That's
he
what
said
I
he'd
was meaning by
fight
like.
for her. I don't think he's a bad dad.
I think if he was, you wouldn't have been with him for 5 years.
I'm never excusing cheating, but this man cheated once 5 or 4 years ago. It doesn't seem like he's been a bad dad or anything. So I just don't know if he's done anything to deserve being cast out of Amy's life.
Yeah.
Your cousin doesn't have money. You are using the remnants of your money. Yeah, I think that you are subjecting your daughter to a very hard life.
When it's already as hard as it is right now.
And
with
she's already losing your mother. She's already losing your mother.
Losing you.
And now she's going to be losing her father figure.
Yeah, I was going to say, Opie's thinking irrationally here.
Yeah. And also subjecting your cousin to a harder life, too. Because now she has 5 kids that she has to look after.
Yeah.
But there's another story, folks. We're going to get into it. My boyfriend's best friend has been cheating, and he was helping him out.
Dump him.
My boyfriend, Sammy, 27 male, and I, 25 female, have been dating for almost 2 years now and have a wonderful relationship. His best friend, John, 27 male, is really nice too, and I get along great with him. John has been dating Lauren for the past 5 years, and because our SOs are lifelong best friends, she and I also developed a good friendship. By the way, this comes from Angry FF. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon, and that's Vincent.
And that's Vincent. And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, about 2 weeks ago, Lauren discovered that John was cheating on her with multiple partners. There was a ton of evidence, and Lauren broke up with him immediately. I felt bad about the situation because Lauren had become a friend to me too. I talked to my boyfriend about how I didn't like the fact that his best friend is a cheater. I am a big believer that the company you keep says a lot about you. Well,
it does.
You were right, OP.
That's
you were
crazy.
really right. He said that the whole thing had caught him by surprise too, but insisted that he and John were friends because they had similar hobbies and a circle of friends, and that he loved me too much to ever hurt me like that. Fast forward to today when I called Lauren to meet up and have lunch sometime with each other. This was the first time I had called her after their breakup, and I wanted her to know that there was no reason why our friendship had to end. Lauren was furious on the line, saying stuff like, "How dare you call me after you helped him cheat on me? I thought you were my friend. You should have told me." I got her to calm down and explain that I had no idea that John was cheating. And if I had known, I would have told her right away. That's when she told me that my boyfriend, Sammy, knew that John was cheating and had covered for John literally dozens of times. Stuff like, "Oh yeah, Lauren, John's at my house. We're hanging out. And John's at his nephew's baseball game. He said he'll be back around 4. Just blatantly lying to cover for his best friend. Lauren sent me pictures and screenshots that proved without a doubt that my boyfriend had known about it for years and actively helped his friend cheat on his girlfriend. I am beyond furious. What the two of them did to Lauren is horrible. But I'm also scared because if his best friend is a cheater and he helped his best friend cheat, what does that say about him? Nothing good. He literally saw Lauren every single week and referred to her as my little sister and had no problem looking her in the eyes and lying. This all happened just today, and I'm seeing my boyfriend this weekend. I'm literally angry to the point where I'm ready to break up with him. Am I wrong for getting mad at him over helping his best friend do something horrible? And relevant comments, Deleted says, dang, this is really bad. My first thought, if I were you, would be to wonder if John has ever covered for your boyfriend. This opens a huge can of worms. What else do they cover for each other? If I had a girlfriend cover like this for a friend, I'd be disgusted. Sounds like he did it a ton too. I'd break up.
Yep.
This says a lot about his character. I'm sure he'll give you the whole, but I'm just looking out for my best friend nonsense. I wouldn't hear it. This would be an ender. Treetop Tree says, I wonder how many times John covered for Sammy cheating. Silver Raven says, your boyfriend helped his friend cheat. Your boyfriend then said he loved you too much to do anything like that to you and then lied to you about knowing and helping his friend cheat. It makes me wonder how many times John has covered up for Sammy. I mean, it took Lauren 5 years to figure out John was a cheater. You could find out 3 years from now that Sammy is exactly like John. Sammy approves of cheating, has no issue with it. Sammy has no problem lying to you. Get rid of him and call Lauren up. She seems like the only person worth being around. And Ghastly Citrus says he made his bed. Now he and John can lie in it together. And there is an update 53 days later. I was initially going to see my Sammy. Why'd you say my Sammy?
My ex Sammy, right?
My
That's
ex
what we
Sammy?
meant?
Yeah, I think you
Let's
forgot
fix
2
that
letters.
right now.
Just a few days after I found out what happened, but canceled on him. I took the weekend to think, talk to a few friends, and read over the comments to my original post. After a bit of thinking, I decided to break up with them. Woo!
Woo, 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 woo.
Sammy lied to me, lied to our mutual friend, Lauren, covered up for cheating, and knew full well that his friend John was having spicy sleep with multiple girls and doing it raw. He basically decided his friendship with the cheater was more important than Lauren being exposed to STDs. That was the deal breaker. I called Sammy on Tuesday and asked him to meet up with me in a public place. When we got there, I told him what Lauren had told me. He initially denied, but I think he could see from the look on my face that I wasn't about to be fooled. He literally looked me in the eyes and said, to be honest, wouldn't it be worse if I was the kind of kitty who didn't cover for his friends? Don't you want a man who's loyal?
You helped your friend not be loyal. That is the most backwards logic.
What?
I just helped my buddy cheat. Don't you want someone loyal like that?
But loyal to my friend, not to you, of course, because I did lie to you for 3 years.
I would never be loyal to women
a
like
woman.
that.
Ew.
But to
I'm
my homie over here,
I don't respect women like that.
clearly.
But my homie is right, my ride or die. That's crazy. That's a really insane line. God help me, I was upset talking to him, but he said that. I burst out laughing. I would too. What he was saying was just so ridiculous, but he said it as though he was a martyr. I stopped laughing after a second, but the look on his face changed completely. He leaned in and said, you stupid witch.
Whoa.
You think John was the only one effing around? We knew it.
I
We
mean,
knew
we
it.
knew it, but for him to just come out and say
Yeah.
that after dropping, I would always
Yeah.
be loyal.
Don't you want someone
admire
loyal?
my loyalty? And then next sentence,
Yeah.
go, I mean, I was cheating on you too. What
Yeah.
about it?
Of course he was. But like, wow.
Well, he
Crazy.
tried all plans A through Z,
Yeah,
and
he was like,
obviously it's like
okay,
it's not working.
Denied. That didn't work.
That's
Okay. Well, let's go like loyalty route. Okay, that didn't work.
That didn't work. Well,
Let's just accuse
So
cat's out of the
dumb.
bag. I
Yeah.
guess I gotta run with it.
By the way, you can run with us if you listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. Well, there's a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you broke up with him.
Yeah.
Let's go hang out with Lauren and raise our standards.
Yeah, please. He's never cussed at me before or said anything with so much anger, especially not with the intent to hurt me. But for some reason, I just didn't care. I thought so little of him at that moment that his opinion didn't matter to me. It was actually kind of a comfort that he said that to me because it proves that he's an F-boy. When people show you who they are, believe them. So I just got up and left. I picked up Chipotle, then went home and watched Making an Unaliver. A few hours later, I called Lauren and explained to her everything that happened. She comforted me, then advised me to get tested for STDs immediately.
Oh no.
She ended up coming with me for support to test. And then a week later, I got the results that I'm clean, and so is Lauren, by the way.
Phew.
And that was that.
I confronted my wife's betrayal because she already made plans to move in with him.
I think it's too late for that now.
Me, 34 male, and my wife, 34 female, have been married for 10 years and in a relationship for another 5. I always thought that we have a good relationship, and while it indeed became a bit monotonous, I considered it a sign of stability and maturity, with no dramas, no conflicts, and no real problems. By the way, this comes from Outrageous Quail 5891, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, we both earn significantly over the average income, have a great apartment in a great neighborhood, no financial struggles whatsoever. We were going on holidays, trying to go out at least once every 2 weeks. I always supported my wife in her career, helped with the household, took care of our child. We have a child together. Helped with cooking, said I love her, and she said back. She always said that I am a great husband and a great father. About 3 months ago, after returning from a business trip, she bought me a gift with a message saying that she loves me. She was having regular business trips for the past 8 or 9 months, about a week every month and a half. But that was not unusual for her job. Fast forward 2 months ago when I started to see some strange behaviors after her last business trip. Something was off. At first, I thought that this is all in my head, but there were more and more signs. Hiding her phone screen from me when using it, and using a phone late in the night, using the phone chatting as soon as she woke up, and immediately going out of bed when I woke up. I couldn't take it anymore, and after a few days like this, I found proof. She had spicy sleep with another man in the last business trip she went. It was her manager, also married and 13 years older than us. In my initial post, I said the age difference is 15, since that's what I thought it was, and who lives in another country. I was devastated, but I thought to myself, it was a stupid mistake. We love each other. We can work things out. So I confronted her. Yes, I was crying. And this is when things went from bad to worse.
Oh, no.
And this is her response. Yes, I cheated on you. I've been asking questions about us and I am unhappy. I love the other guy and I want a divorce. I want something new, different, exciting. All in the first 5 minutes of our discussion.
Wow, it was like a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 combo left and right for 5 minutes. When you were just like, we can make this work, right? Everything's perfect, right? OP. Oh, man, I'm sorry.
I was devastated. Bullet after bullet aimed straight at my heart. I could not comprehend what was actually happening. I could not understand how things went downhill so fast, and so much that not only was she saying all those things, she did not even want to try to solve our problems. She did not want to try anything to make things work or to try to save the marriage. She actually started a new relationship with the affair partner even before I confronted her, and they already had discussed plans. For the next 2 or 3 days, I pushed and insisted on talking, me trying to make sense of things. I heard many things from her, like she was saying things along the lines of, I always kept thinking that this is it, this is the highest of my life, and it will be like this forever. I want more, something exciting, something new. I've always been the perfect pupil, the perfect student, marrying my university boyfriend, having a child, having a career. Is this it? To things that degraded me, like, I started to see you less of a man, or staying with you means I have to settle.
We got married. We have a kid. What do you mean? We settled a long time ago.
Comparing me to her father, saying that I should have seen signs, despite her pretending everything was okay. That it was also my fault things ended up like this, and many more. Some are partially true, most are exaggerated. I was devastated and could not wrap my head around the situation. How could she be so unhappy and there were no signs? We never discussed about such problems. She always pretended that we're okay. We had plans for the future. I supported her in her career, and she encouraged me as well. Whenever I did sense that something was off, or if we did have discussions related to couple problems that other acquaintances are having, she never mentioned that we may be having some as well. I tried my best to be by her side, to encourage her, to support her. While I know I wasn't the perfect husband, and I know that there are things I could have done differently, I always tried to compensate in the areas I was lacking with other things. But the cheating was not the end. No! Even before I found out about the affair, she had already made plans with the affair partner and started the relationship with him. By the time I confronted her about the affair, which was less than 2 weeks after it happened, they had already planned to move in together, for the affair partner to divorce as well and move in the same country as us. They were talking for hours each day during the period we were still living together. She had other business trips planned and bought each other gifts. The thing that bothered me the most was that I wasn't even offered a chance to solve our problems, to save the family and the marriage. She stayed with me, acted like things are well, up until the point that she had confirmation that her feelings for the affair partner were mutual, that he also wants to be with her, and it wasn't just a one-night stand. At which point she tossed me away like an old rag. What followed were the worst weeks of my life. We still had to live together another month, because we needed some time to tell the child, while she was actively in a long-distance relationship with the affair partner. We had to split our assets, we had to finalize the divorce, and we had to tell our child. Now it has been 2 weeks since she moved. As for me, I'm a bit better each day. I still have my ups and downs, and I've been updating this draft during my downs period, but I am better than I was 2 weeks ago, a month ago, and 2 months ago. I started therapy. I started to go to the gym more frequently. I've been going 2 times a week for the past 3 or 4 years, and now I'm increasing it. And I'm trying to focus on my hobbies. And by the way, you guys should focus on listening to more episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Yeah, OP, this was never you did this. No matter what she said, you did everything, in a normal relationship. And you asked her, and she just kept saying it was okay when it was never okay for her, and that's on her. It does suck, but there's nothing you did wrong. I need you to know that first and foremost, which it seems like you do.
Yeah. I like that you're already in therapy. You're already moving and grooving.
You're doing all the right
I feel
things.
Like you know what's up.
It does suck. There are going to be, more down days. There are going to be more up days. It's just going to be taking its time, and it'll be all okay. I'm baffled. Like, where did this all come from? I guarantee you one day, and maybe it won't happen, maybe it will, but who cares if it does? But I'm just going to say, one day she'll probably be with this guy and be like, I'm not excited anymore. I need something new.
Yeah, it always ends how it starts. She'll probably have an affair with him.
Yeah,
on
probably.
him.
Or it'll maybe go to like, this is not as exciting. My ex-husband was like so much better than this. Maybe I can go back.
I'm sure. I find myself in a limbo state from time to time, but slowly trying to climb out of it. The worst part is when a state of loneliness crawls over me. There are only so many friends that I can hang with. This is still new for me, and still trying to figure out a direction in the days when the child is not with me. I've read so many stories and opinions and can't wait to see where I will be in 6 months from now. And we have a relevant reply from OP. Cheaters cheat down mostly. The affair partner is different, true, but not sure if it is cheating down or trading up. He currently lives in a richer country than us and earns more than we do. Don't know how that will change when he will move to our country, but he does have his drawbacks. He's an ex-military that has manageable PTSD. He is also more agitated and likes to argue to get things done in his way. This does make him more assertive, though. One thing that my ex complained that I wasn't enough, see the less of a man part. I believe she's having that midlife thing associated with so many women. Don't know, but last time I knew about them, they were both acting as if they were both in love and have been in the wrong relationship their whole life until they met. She's in the affair fog. Don't let patriarchal thoughts influence you to be the provider and allow her to take the goodies. Use the affair fog to clean her to the gutters and move on. The divorce is final. We already agreed on how to split things, and it was pretty much 50-50. While I do not agree that it was truly fair, since almost all of the bills were paid by me, as was the mortgage on the apartment, I did get the nicer, newer, and bigger apartment, something I insisted I wanted. Not reaching an agreement would have meant months, if not years, of settlement, which would have only caused harm to the child. Even so, as quickly as it was legally possible, we reached disagreements and arguments on many things. It was not worth the effort to fight more. That is the end of that story. Wow, wow, wow. Good job, OP. I feel like you took the steps you needed to take to be okay again. Like
Yeah.
therapy and just like sitting with it.
I found my boyfriend's secret texts, and I don't like what I saw.
Ooh, we don't like secrets like that.
Me, 21-year-old female, and my boyfriend, a 26-year-old male, recently moved in together. We have been together for over a year now, and I am deeply in love with him. We've had our share of issues, but I have seen him grow into someone I could see spending the rest of my life with. By the way, this comes from Grace's Forehead 01, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. Recently, I have been feeling very insecure due to my own issues and absent-mindedly scrolled through some texts on his computer. I have never done anything like this before, and I know it was wrong. I did not read anything until I came across a message from a girl with a name very similar to one of his exes. I opened the messages with worry because he has told me many times that he was no longer in contact with his ex. I was horrified by what I found. For context, my boyfriend and I broke up in January of 2022. We were both in bad places mentally and trying to manage a long-distance relationship. In a heated fight, he ended things very coldly with me over the phone. I was devastated. We picked up the pieces of our love over the next week and vowed to find a way to make things work. However, I am still haunted by that time. My self-esteem will probably never be the same after hearing him speak to me with so much bitterness and hate. About a month after this breakup, I flew home for a few days and we got into another fight. I thought this fight was strange because he seemed to be overreacting much more than usual. He was upset that I didn't answer him all evening, even though I was with my family, whom I had not seen for months. This fight became extreme and he said goodbye to me over text and did not speak to me for the rest of my trip. I thought he was going to end things with me again, but he never did.
I like the again.
That's great.
Again.
That's great. She's like, well, I thought he was going to end things because it was really bad, but he didn't, so I guess we're okay?
We stayed strong.
When we broke up.
Yeah.
When I got back, we made up and I contributed this fight to growing pains as we were both trying to learn how to reevaluate our relationship after the breakup.
OP, you're victimizing yourself. You're like, I'm the problem here.
Yeah.
I'll take all accountability, even for you, bub. You're like, oh,
I'll take it on.
it's all me, not you.
This is where the texts come into play. The girl he was talking to was not his ex, just someone with a similar name. Is that true, though?
Either he's really bad at just like hiding things.
Yeah.
And he can't even come up with a better name for his ex to hide from you, or it's genuinely just another person with that name who's just eerily similar
Regardless,
to his ex's name.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Either way, he's still cheating.
At the end of the day, bad.
He has never mentioned her to me. For whatever reason, I cannot see any of her replies and can only see what he said to her. But to summarize, I think he was trying to or did hook up with her. Every single text was another blow to my perception of him. He started off by telling the girl that his ex had blocked her number on his phone and that he was sorry. Things continued to escalate from there, and he asked her if she and her hot roommate would want to have a ménage à trois. He went into great detail about how me and him were basically on a break and that he was waiting until after Valentine's Day to officially end things with me because he wanted his Valentine's Day gift that he knew I had bought for him. He's texting another girl. I haven't broken out with my girlfriend officially because I really want that gift. Yeah, so I can't break up yet because she got me this really sick gift.
She got me a PS5,
Yeah,
and I really want that before I break up with her.
Yeah, you get it. You understand.
OP's reading this and like, I think it's just all like fun and games. He still loves me, right?
Oh boy, OP, oh boy. He talked about wanting to have spicy sleep with someone with no emotional attachment. He also said he had been a sleut this year.
OP, what are we doing?
Which raised alarms in my head since this was February. And I thought he had been loyal to me, even through the several days we had been separated in January.
That's his New Year's resolution, OP. Come on. You didn't get the memo?
Again, the conversation was difficult to follow because I cannot see any of her replies. At one point, he asked her if she was there yet. This is the moment where I understand that they may have hooked up. There was other small details about him missing his crazy ex and asking her to validate his ego. The main thing that I do not understand is that all of this happened in February while I was back home in South Dakota. Although we were fighting, we were definitely not on a break. The way he spoke about me in those texts has absolutely shattered me. That whole month he was telling me that he loved me and was trying to work on fixing our relationship.
But in reality, he was being vile with another woman over text. Ever since I discovered this, I have been trying to come up with any excuse for him that I can. I cannot create a situation in my mind where he did not cheat on me, or at least did not try to. A month or two after these texts were sent, he went to get an STD test at the doctor's. I thought this was odd because we had been dating for almost a year at that point. I felt really bad about it, and he told me that I should not be taking it personally because he was just looking after his health and should have gotten tested before we started dating. Either way, I thought it was strange that he was so insistent on it, when to my knowledge, the only person he had been spicily active with for almost a year was me. I honestly do not know what to do with this information. The texts span only one day from back in February. Since then, I moved to live in his home city to be closer to him and for more work opportunities. We moved in together about a month ago and things have been really amazing. He went back to school, so our schedules have been hard, but the time I do spend with him feels incredible. Basically, our relationship has been good and strong. However, back in February, when this was apparently happening, he was begging me to leave the area I really loved living in to come stay with him. I was terrified to take this leap and was hesitant. Eventually, I realized that my life was not going to improve in the tiny town I was living in, and I agreed. Now I am so uncomfortable around him. I remember Valentine's Day and the gifts I got him. I remember being on the phone with him that week and being so excited to come see him. Obviously, something happened to change his mind after he sent those texts. He never broke up with me after Valentine's Day like he said he would. I want to confront him about the texts, but I'm torn. I know he will be extremely upset and hurt that I went on his computer and snooped. Why are we caring about his feelings literally at all?
You should be just as upset.
OP.
Why are we caring about them at all?
OP, where is your brain? Where is your brain? The entire time, where is your brain? She's like, I'm making reasonings for him that that makes sense. You can, for your health, you want to go get checked up? That makes sense. I saw all the proof that I saw, but I'm so happy when I'm with you.
I know I should not have done what I did, and I honestly wish I had never seen those texts, but now, when I lie next to him at night, I think about everything he said about me to that girl. He lied about us being on a break, and the way he spoke to her felt like a different person. My boyfriend has always been very supportive of women, but the person I saw in those messages felt like someone I would run from. I never imagined him saying he wanted a random hole to F. I truly do not know what I would do if I confronted him and he confessed to cheating on me. Why do you need him to confess? You already know he cheated on you. Part of me thinks I need to break up with him. At the same time, our relationship has grown, and I have seen him go to therapy and get sober and leave a toxic living situation behind. By the way, it would be toxic of you to not listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I genuinely am speechless with how OP is handling things in this situation. OP, you got a spine. Why are we making hypotheticals for this guy? You know he cheated on you, or at least attempted to try and cheat on you.
Yeah.
Disrespected
Emotionally
you.
cheating.
What are we doing?
Why does only part of you want to leave? Get all of us. All of it. I do not know what I would do if I found out he cheated once 6 months ago.
You did, though.
You don't know. What do you mean? What?
You did.
You do know he did that. He did that. We know that. We have also, we know he physically cheated because he got STD testing. So we know he cheated on you emotionally. And also, let's put 2 and 2 together. Why would he get STD tests after?
I need a stress ball. I need something to relieve my stress because this is stressing me out.
But now I feel like I do not really know the person I love the most in the world. If I do not say anything, I do not know if our relationship will ever be the same. If I do bring it up, I do not know if it will survive either. I am hoping that by posting this, someone who has been in a similar situation will see it. I genuinely have thought about marrying this man.
Why?
But I am deeply disturbed by what I saw. Comment. Was he drinking during this time period when he cheated? Was he drinking when he was breaking up cruelly with you? Has he stopped drinking now? Opie says yes, he was absolutely drinking when we broke up. I am not sure about the cheating. He's been going to AA several nights a week since we got back together in therapy. He got a job and went back to school. I told myself when I took him back that I would have to leave him for good if nothing changed, but it did. I'm so proud of him, so this is soul crushing. Nothing changed. Opie, please leave. Please.
OP.
Please.
You have a brain.
Please.
Why are you? I know your brain is trying to no, he's a good guy. He's doing all these things for me.
Please.
It doesn't negate the fact that we don't know if he physically probably did, but emotionally cheated on you. And you need to confront him and leave this guy. Just so you get the confrontation would be so you just get clarity. But you saw the text. You saw an entire text thread. And you're like, oh, I don't see any texts from her. They're deleted.
I don't know if he's cheating, though.
I don't know if he's cheating.
He's cheating on you.
Come
Please.
on.
Please. But that's the end of the story.
All right, and we got another one coming
I
right
got
up.
another one coming right
I'll be
up.
right back.
I would leave my boyfriend and run away with my affair partner.
Well, I think you should leave your boyfriend because you cheated on him.
Now, before anyone says it, yes, I already know I'm a terrible person for what I did. And I'm not here to justify anything, just to get some advice. I, 27 female, have been with my boyfriend, Scully, not his real name, 34 male, for a little over 3 years. We met through mutual friends and spent 3 straight days together smoking, drinking, and just talking. By the way, this comes from Full Highway 14. If you want to spin your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
I'm Angie.
We're here to just give good advice goofily. You're here to comment what you know down below. We'll love to read them. OP says, on the 3rd day, he asked if I wanted to have spicy sleep. And I was at a point in my life where I genuinely did not care or give any Fs. So I agreed. I will never forget him saying that if I got preggers, he would be there, which I thought was cute when I was younger, but now it gives me the ick. Over the course of our relationship, I will admit that I have not been faithful. I've been having spicy sleep with my affair partner, 26, for about 5 years. And at the beginning, I did try to turn that into a relationship. At the time, it did feel like he didn't really want one, so I kept it strictly spicy related, bringing it back to my relationship with Scully. I did not feel a strong attraction to him at first, but I loved the way he treated me. We went on dates every Wednesday, and he was always there when I was in trouble, which made me genuinely enjoy his company. Eventually, I started developing real feelings for him, so I reduced how often I saw my affair partner. Not long after, felt like Scully suddenly did not want to have spicy sleep with me anymore. We used to have spicy sleep every time we saw each other, essentially daily. And while I know that's not realistic long term, 3 times a week in my early mid-20s does not feel unreasonable. Every time I asked, I was met with later or not up for it. I assumed something might be going on with his health and gently asked if he was dealing with ED since he's older than me, but he refused to talk about it. Because of how my autism/ADHD brain works, I came up with what felt like a simple solution at the time. I would keep my home life stable and my spicy sleep life fulfilled, even if that meant getting those needs met elsewhere. If I tried to break down every issue Scully and I have had, this post would be endless, so I will list the main ones. When I was a live-in girlfriend and did not work for over a year, even though I handled everything related to the house, he refused to communicate our financial situation to me. He would completely shut down anytime he felt questioned or thought we were arguing. I also caught him talking to other women and offered to send them money while I was donating plasma just to feed us both.
What? That was like very informational, but also vague at the same time.
Send them money?
Then like other women money.
Or him money?
Other women. So the boyfriend would send other women money even though OP was donating plasma to get money because they were broke, I guess. This is weird. It's just a weird situation.
Yes, I donated plasma for 2 years during our relationship. Heavy drinking runs in his family, and when he gets stressed, he drinks to the point of peeing the carpet and all over the bathroom. This behavior led to him getting a DUI while we were together, which was his 2nd time going to jail during our relationship. I didn't even know about the first time because a family member told him not to tell me, thinking I would leave him if I knew. As unbelievable as it sounds, that is exactly what happened. Fast forward to about 2 weeks ago when rent was due. Since we moved into my new place in July, he had been able to pay rent without issues because he works full-time, making $18.25 an hour, while I started working in September, making $17 an hour for 26 hours a week. Ever since I got this job, he suddenly could not pay rent on time. I tried not to blame him entirely because people at his job were actively trying to get him fired. But once he was back working full weeks, I could not understand how he still had nothing for rent. I ended up having to make a payment plan with my landlord because I have been homeless before and refused to take that risk again. I had school money from college that I wanted to use to buy things for myself and update the house. Because of our history, I chose to set that money aside and make sure rent was covered. He told me he did not have the full amount he owed, which was $900. And I said I would cover the rest since the total rent was $1,950 and he could pay me back. He then admitted he only had $200.
He's trying to bargain how much you're willing to cover. He's like, "Oh, well, since you're willing to pay, I actually only have 200." That's crazy.
When I asked where the rest went, he said he spent it on random things and could not even explain what those things were. After that, I completely felt disrespected and decided to break up with him, even though we still live together. He is taking it very hard and continues to act like we are still a couple, despite knowing we are not. I want to move out because I am mentally checked out, but the day after the breakup, he reminded me of a warning his dad gave me early on. His dad told me not to leave Scully because he would pass away over this relationship. And I truly wish I were exaggerating. Gang involvement is part of his past, and that fear is very real to me.
Oh, no.
What does this mean?
What?
What does this mean?
That means that his family is in a gang, probably. So it might be dangerous if she leaves him. Because people might try to convince her to stay.
Oh my gosh. I regret not sticking to my original plan of moving out while he was at work, but I could not handle pretending anymore. I could not tolerate someone believing they could treat me however they wanted and still have access to me. By the way, if you want access to us, go to your favorite podcast platform, search up OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. We have a little bit more to this story. You got a lot going on, OP.
Yeah, a lot going on. I wonder if it's possible. If it's possible for you to move out, do that. If it's possible to get him booted out and evicted from your apartment because he can't pay rent,
Yeah.
possibly do that. If I would prefer you moving so that he doesn't know like where to find you. But this is crazy. Because it's also weird that one statement before like the gang involvement thing that was like, you have to never leave Scully because I'll pass away. Right? Like that's what it said, that like the dad would pass away.
His dad told me not to leave Scully because he would relationship, and I truly wish I were exaggerating. Gang involvement is part of his past. That fear is very real to me.
So does she think that someone's like
Threatening her or threatening him? I don't know.
Like,
I'm kind of confused there.
It seems like
There's a lot of confusing parts of this story.
seems like the threat is on him, but that would be a weird threat to say like, you better keep your son in that relationship. You better make sure that your son's girlfriend doesn't break up with him or else I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's a little weird.
This is all very weird, and I think it's good that you broke up.
Yeah.
I think you should get out of there as fast as you can.
The breakup has not changed his behavior at all. He is still affectionate, still trying to have spicy sleep, and his touch genuinely disgusts me. Meanwhile, my affair partner and I have developed real feelings for each other in a way that feels organic and mutual. I want to be with my affair partner, but I do not know how to leave without Scully getting hurt or potentially unalived. Why did I stay with someone I clearly did not like that much? I should have left the moment he admitted he approached me because of a bet. I should have left the moment he admitted he approached me because of a bet. I think I grew comfortable with him, and after his father passed away, some things did improve. Still, the financial instability and booze mistreatment were things I cannot ignore anymore. Yeah, you got to get out of there. I don't like how you had someone you cheated on throughout the relationship.
Yeah.
But for your own safety, you just got to get out of there.
My wife's affair history has come to light. Her friend exposed her.
Yay, A+ friend.
First things first, I have no plans to divorce my wife. I'm not so much seeking advice as I am just trying to vent because this hurts like a mother effer, and I'm not sure to whom else I can turn to in order to get this off my chest. By the way, this comes from user Buttons McBoom. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
We're going to talk about this story. We're going to yap about it, give some good advice, maybe, because we don't have all the answers. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, an old friend of my wife whom we have not seen in years reached out to me last night and emailed me screenshots of some email exchanges they had at the time that detailed a fling my wife had with another man behind my back while we were still dating long distance. She said she wanted to clear her conscience after all this time, but I was still skeptical at first. It took place in the 2 months leading up to me moving in with her. She definitely did the spicy tango with this guy at least once, and they went on several dates. I logged into her email at about 2 in the morning and verified that these emails were real, and I found some more emails she sent to another friend with more of her details and feelings. We've both grown a lot since then. Our marriage has truly been great, but reading some of the crap she said back then just gutted me. She said she knew what she was doing was wrong, though she didn't necessarily feel guilt. Oh,
Well, that's concerning.
This is going to be crazy to see this after you've had, like, I assume, many, many years of, like, a good marriage with this person.
Yeah.
And then you're running the math in your head. You're like, oh, my God, like, did she just get it all out of her system? Like, did she need this? Is this why my marriage is so good? Oh, ow. She said that she loved the way I made her feel when we were together, but she got really lonely when I left. Ugh. I roll my eyes across the floor. And that she had made up her mind to basically live like she was single for the 3 weeks each month that I wasn't there.
Well, so that's not how that works.
Dang. She was like, oh, I really love the way I feel when I'm with this guy, but as soon as he leaves, I forget he exists and I cheat on him for 3 weeks.
That's exactly what happened.
That's insane. This is insane. No. She even toyed with the idea of breaking up with me to pursue a relationship with this other guy. Like I said, we currently have a great marriage and I have zero intent of pursuing divorce. I'm not even sure I'm going to confront her about it because it was so long ago. That said, this has really been a shot to the gut and I'm not sure I've ever felt this kind of hurt. Thanks for listening to me and letting me vent, Reddit. And we have an update. Is there a divorce in this update?
I don't think so. I'm wondering if there's a confrontation in this update. Not even like...
I wonder if, there's got to be a confrontation. I just wonder if everyone yelling on the internet for this guy to...
That's fair.
Divorce or break up or...
I just really hope you don't have a job where you travel away a lot. Because then I'd be concerned for you.
We have an update. I got back home on Sunday after a weekend work meeting that was out of state. I asked her if we could talk, and I told her that I knew she had cheated on me. She held back tears as she confessed that she had indeed carried on a brief relationship with another man while we were dating, shortly before I had moved states and we moved in together. I asked her if there were any other times, and she said no. I have faith in her when she says this, because I gave no time frame, and she corroborated what I had found. I then asked why she kept it from me for so long, and she said she knew how adamant I was that I would never forgive a cheater, as I had been cheated on in college by a longtime girlfriend.
Well, you don't seem very adamant now, buddy.
I mean, part of me does understand.
I get it.
We don't really have the time of how long they've been married, but if you've been married for like 15 years and you found this out, and it happened during long distance, which does not excuse this, but it's like, it does, I think, soften it in a way. Not excusing it or making it okay, but it would be better than if it's like, oh, we just lived together the whole time, and while I was like sleeping next to you 7 days a week, every day, you had done this to me. It still doesn't make it better, or it still doesn't make it okay.
I think cheating is cheating.
Yeah. She said she knew that it would destroy both me and our relationship. She then asked for my forgiveness, if I could ever forgive her, and I told her that I already had. She cried even more when I told her that the last thing I want is a divorce, because I still love her more than anything in the world, and I'm not willing to throw everything we have away for something that happened 16 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
So, exactly.
No,
that's what it is.
I didn't disagree with you. I think I would also be like, this was a long time ago. It's fine. I'm over it. You just were very chill about it very quickly.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you do kind of run the calculus of like, it's never happened again. The context in which it happens and then never happened again. That makes a lot of sense. It's like it happened while it's like it happened while we were long distance, and then once I moved out here, it never happened again. And you're like, I can never say this because it'll destroy what we have, and he moved states for me, blah, 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 blah.
Honestly, the only thing that I'm like, okay, fine, sure, I get it, is the fact that it's been so long.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, because it's like,
I don't understand any of the
if it had been 16 years, then maybe this isn't as cool. But if it's been a really great 16 years, I guess you got to look back and be like, why'd you do that? Gross. Don't like it. I forgive you though. I mean, and now maybe you've cemented the loyalty even further now. I don't know. This is so weird. The calculus on this is so strange. OP continues. I said that while I love her, I am still very hurt because all of this is new to me and my trust in her is a little shaken for having kept this from me for so long. She understood, and she offered to let me go through her DMs and her email and her text to prove nothing else had gone on. I declined because I've known all of her passwords and how to unlock her phone, and she has never jealously guarded her devices. We can also track one another's devices, and she has never been somewhere she shouldn't be when I've checked. Finally, I asked why. She said she didn't have a clear answer why, and she still wasn't totally sure, but she was going through a very self-destructive time in her life, which was already known to me. And when this guy came pursuing her hard, it was one more terrible decision in a string of terrible life decisions she had made over the previous year. We embraced and cried. She apologized again, and I told her how much she meant to me. I told her it would take time for me to process all of this, and that I would be going through counseling, and that I want us to attend marriage counseling for at least a little while, but that I was still madly in love with her. Good marriage counseling.
Yay.
Good marriage.
I liked that idea.
Then she asked me how I found out, and I told her about how her old friend had reached out to me and dropped the news, which caused me to check her emails and corroborate this information. Apparently, they had a very serious falling out a while back after my wife had loaned the friend a good amount of money after the friend's husband had taken everything and left her high and dry. This money came from her discretionary account and not our shared account. Yes, we both have discretionary accounts. No, I do not worry about what she does with her own money. Yes, I knew about the loan. Instead of using the money to get back on her feet, her friend had used it for really expensive, unnecessary stuff and a vacation with some other girlfriends. Needless to say, my wife was pissed. She asked for her money back, and it led to a big fight. They have barely spoken since, and this will probably officially end their relationship, as my wife thinks this could be payback for cutting off her friend. I mean,
it's a weird form of payback, but...
Yeah, it's a weird way. I think it's weird to describe it that way as the guy who, like, benefited from it. And now you're like, yeah, she's going to be cutting her off now because she knows she can't trust her. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, because it was, like, good that someone stepped forward to tell you, but...
I don't really care why she did it. I'm glad that it happened. But by the way, I'd be glad if you listened to full episodes with stories just like this one on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime and get to listening. We have a little bit more story here.
Well, you have a very crazy, unique situation.
Yeah. Not often am I a fan of people not, separating after infidelity, but I think all the contextual stars kind of aligned here a little bit. All the planets and moons were in synchronous orbit around your relationship.
Crazy. But I'm glad it worked for you, I guess.
She gonna have to do something to make up for it, though. I mean, come on. 16 years? A 16-year lie is pretty insane. It's pretty insane. But, you know her better. You said she was going through like a real self-destructive phase. Sometimes people just get crazy brain. Sometimes people have crazy brain. I've had crazy brain before. You had crazy brain before?
Does crazy brain mean cheating or?
No, just like crazy brain, like you just like you look
like no,
you look back on something and you're like, wow, I can't believe I was doing that kind of stuff because I was just crazy.
Everyone has crazy brain at some point.
Crazy brain.
I also don't think crazy brain means cheating on our partners, but.
OP says, I have my first session with a new therapist later this week. We have a session with a marriage counselor next week. I am hopeful that we will come through this ordeal just as strong as we were before. To those who offered me genuine advice, thank you. While I was not necessarily looking for advice when I first posted, there was some sage wisdom in some of your words, and it really helped me. Thank you again. And that is the end of that story.
My boyfriend thinks I'm cheating, but I am not.
I hope that's not projection.
Trigger warning, physically abusive relationship. Hi, I never thought I'd post here, but here we go. My boyfriend is convinced that I, 28 female, am cheating on him with a coworker, similar age male. My boyfriend and I have been together for a year, and I would like to stress the following. By the way, this comes from Not Really Cheating 5, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in the situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. So OP would like to stress the following. I am not, nor have I ever been, attracted to this coworker. This coworker is happily married and treats me no differently than anyone else. I'm on a graduate scheme, so this coworker is senior to me and has a formal mentoring role. This coworker has contacted me once personally outside of working hours, only to have a work-based catch-up with me when I was ill. This situation is ridiculous. He has become convinced that I am cheating or am intending to cheat on him with this man. The coworker and I do get along, but I get along with most people. Because we work in close proximity and in the same department, it's a huge company, I do mention him more than others when I'm telling stories about my day to my boyfriend, but it's all really dull work-based stuff. I thought maybe having him meet people where I work would help. This made it worse though, somehow. As afterwards he felt vindicated since he had taken everything his coworker said to him as a subtle indication of his intentions towards me. I and several others were in the room the whole time, and the coworker did not say anything out of the ordinary. It's insane. It's getting to the point where he's so upset and uncomfortable that I'm getting nervous and having to not tell him about things that happened at work because it will involve mentioning this person. In the latest case, the coworker had sent a message to the entire team about an absence, but obviously my phone went off and his name appeared, and my boyfriend became really distressed. Any advice would be appreciated, and there are some comments and a lot more to the story. But
wow, yikes.
Yikes.
From what we know so far, it sounds like your boyfriend's got some insecurities.
Issues
that he needs to work through on his own.
Totally. Because it's the kind of thing where it's like, I guess in like some relationships, sure, maybe some jealousy can pop up, and maybe, you know, people go about it in an okay way where they're just like, hey, I don't know why I'm feeling this, like I trust you, but just letting you know this is just what I'm feeling. Like, what can we do, or can you just give me reassurance, you know?
I think there's like inevitably always going to be somebody that comes along and makes you just like a little bit uncomfortable with things, or like, hey, am I just really in my head about this? Like, especially if you're feeling a little bit more insecure at that time. Like, it can totally get to you.
Totally. But we do have some comments. Startdale says he needs to look at therapy for his insecurities. It could be a symptom of hiding depression or another anxiety disorder. Untreated, they can get worse. Either that, or he has control issues and is using his paranoia as a way to try and control your behavior, isolating you from other people. Has he ever been jealous of male friends or had issues with you hanging out with friends without him or on a girls' night out? Hope he responds. As far as the first issue, I agree. I don't really know how to access that stuff or how he would. For the second, that's a firm no. He recognizes that this feeling he has is nonsense, albeit very difficult, and actively encourages me to do things without him and have a healthy social life. However, I will say this. His feelings alone do make me want to alter my behavior to make him feel better, even though he would never intend this to be the case. Balance the Mirror says, can you give any examples of what he's saying? Is he accusing you of meeting up secretly? Since you have a total of 2 texts from your coworker, how does your boyfriend turn that into cheating? Secret phone? Because unless you're leaving some major things out, this is almost paranoid and not in the colloquial sense. And in response to you wanting to alter your behavior to make him feel better, wait, what? Your behavior is fine, right? Why would you be wanting to alter anything to make him feel better? Opie says, as in, although he would never explicitly or implicitly, with guilt tripping, etc., say don't do this, I can see him hurting and I suppose that I want to fix it. I know rationally nothing is wrong. It's hard to even pinpoint where I started. I do legitimately need to stay late at my job, so there's that time possibly. It's completely irrational, but he does recognize this. He'll just get really uncomfortable and sad, or normally say something insulting about the coworker. The things he says about me cheating are less angry accusations and more him saying that he's not good enough, so he thinks it's happening. When pushed, he obviously has no reason to think this and will acknowledge that he's being ridiculous. I just really needed to know that I'm not overreacting when I get angry at him over it, and that this is legitimately insane. And I will say, yeah, you're definitely not overreacting.
Yeah,
because
not at all.
Yeah, like even if he's not like obviously guilt tripping by saying like, oh, like you wouldn't do this to me, right? And or like this makes me so sad. Can you please do this? Like if you don't do this, I'm gonna be so much sadder. But that is a very common manipulative tactic to have that reaction because he knows you're going to see him being sad and not like it. So, so that alone is something to keep an eye on because
it's still influencing how you're behaving in response and everything.
Like that's so common for manipulators to use. So
not saying that he necessarily is doing it on purpose, but it's still something that he should also be aware of.
Yeah, he just shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Well, just a lot of like maybe he's not manipulating you on purpose or whatever, but I think that a lot of manipulators are very aware of like how to do it.
And good about kind of being like, acting like he's not doing it. I hope it's not the case here.
Yeah, like it's very possible that he knows that explicitly saying don't go around him is in the wrong and that's too far. So he's going to do this to kind of control in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah.
OP replying to a deleted comment. OP says, that's actually a pretty good chunk of what I meant, actually. This is going to sound dumb, but I hadn't considered how it might be the sum of all of those elements. New job, lots of stories where one person features prominently. Staying late, contact after hours, contributing to this.
Contact after hours one time because he was sick.
And it was like work related though too.
Right.
Like
and he saw it.
Yeah. I've just been seeing them as individual things. It's been a big change in routine since my old job. I know everyone at his work, and he's been there so long. I imagine if a new woman started working closely with him and this coincided with longer hours, I would feel concerned, though not to this extent. So I do think I understand the base feelings feeding into it then, if perhaps not the level of distress it results in. Based on the kind of route that this takes, where all of it begins with, I'm not good enough, therefore you will leave, I can see that if he already has quite a profound insecurity about himself in which he thinks he's somehow not good enough for me, then these circumstances could act as a bigger trigger for that and really maybe just bring this out to the surface. This actually would make a lot of sense in terms of some other things that he said about himself in the past, which maybe I should have taken more seriously and have pushed more for him to open up about. For example, he makes jokes about him being insert negative trait here, and that I never took as coming from a genuine pain. Thank you for that perspective. I'm speaking with him about it tonight. And there is an edit. I mean, Open Up's comment was a pretty good example of what's really been happening with that for clarity. And there is an update from 26 days later.
Oh, okay.
But I have thoughts about that though.
Okay, let's hear them.
Because like people have different levels of like how they want to go about a relationship in regards to cheating.
Yeah.
And I think it's huge to agree on that level. Like, I think that, like, you know, if...
You mean of, like, what's considered cheating kind of thing?
Yeah, like, what's considered cheating and, like, other similar boundaries. Like, some people believe that, you know, you shouldn't be friends with the opposite if that's what you're attracted to, you know, and it's like, I personally hate that.
Yeah, that one's weird to me.
But it's also like I can't control other people's thoughts on that, so it's like, go be with someone that agrees with you, you know?
100%.
And I think this is the case where you don't agree on that. It's like, yes, he might be feeling insecure with all of this, but that's really just an explanation. Like, when anyone talks about insecurities revolving cheating in any relationship, they're gonna have all of that background that your boyfriend has, you know? Like, that's not just... We're not calling it insecurities for nothing, you know?
Right, exactly.
But there is an update. So, 26 days later. So, it got a bit of attention, so I wanted to do an update. Plus, crap hit the fan over the last few days, so buckle yourselves in. After we spoke about the original issue, things did get better. Then, little fragments of other controlling behaviors started to come out. I thought we could work through them, until when things came to a head. I found out that he had, in fact, cheated on me. When I attempted to leave him over this, he became very, very harmful to the point where he was arrested. Oh, yikes, yikes, yikes. He threw things, screamed, threatened me, and trapped me in the house. I'm crushed, but relieved I found out now. I'm staying with friends currently and trying to process. And you can currently listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like so rough when it comes to this head of like, wow, this is who you were this entire time.
Yeah.
On the same hand, like, thank God it was only this far in. You weren't married to this man.
Right.
You weren't like
years into
more thickly involved and tied to this man, and that you had such a quick head and such good thinking to be like, hi friends, I'm gonna stay with my friends.
Okay, bye, I'm out.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Thank
goodness. So I guess if there's a moral to the story, don't ignore signs of but I can't help the sense that the escalation came out of nowhere, and how before, if you tried to tell me this would have happened, I would have laughed in your face. I guess I don't know what I could have done to prevent this. The original issue seemed to be able to be worked through, but was masking this. Thank you to everyone who offered advice and support in my previous post. Apart from that one guy who thought I'd had a Freudian slip in one of my comments and became convinced that I had actually cheated on my partner, like I was a Scooby-Doo villain. In retrospect, you can go F yourself. And there are some comments. Waves and Mountains says, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Thank you for the update and reinforcing the idea that cheaters project their behavior onto innocent people. Opie says, I came off maybe flippant in the post, but I'm just in shock. I feel a year of my life has been taken from me and utterly wasted. Best Failure says, yeah, it's hard. Better now, though, than in a few more years, though. Trying to accommodate him a bit here and a bit there, and end up sacrificing opportunities and yourself because you love him and want to make a life with him. And only finally realize how effed up it is to want that anymore. OP says, I cannot stress enough how much I relate to what you have just said here. I still love him, but I love myself more. Thank God. Woo! My life for error says, I had a girlfriend who was super jealous. I would have a 2-minute conversation with some girl and then she would say, why don't you just F her while you're at it? Yikes. Things like that. Turns out she was projecting and it was her that was cheating the whole time. Shocker. Opie says it definitely started getting like that. Dangby says, whenever I hear or read someone say my partner has accused me of cheating out of nowhere, the truth is almost always that the partner is in fact the one who is cheating. Glad you figured it out and are now free of the situation. Good luck. And that's the end of that story. My best friend is having an affair and she refused to stop it.
Tell her partner right now.
Trigger warning for a harmful relationship and substance use. My best friend of 25 years, Ava, has been having an emotional affair since January, and it turned physical in May. Ava married Mark about 10 years ago. Mark was her rebound after Ava's previous awful relationship of 2 to 3 years. Things were mostly okay with Mark. They basically bonded over smoking the devil's lettuce, but didn't have that many shared interests. By the way, this comes from Beneficial Idea 3312, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do down below. So, OP says, the wedding revealed how overbearing and controlling his parents were and still are. They dictated where the couple got married, the band, and other details. Ava even got a job working for her mother-in-law, all of which didn't match her personality or interests. Ava had previously told Mark that she didn't want kids, and he was okay with that. Then, on the honeymoon, he suggested that they have a kid. She eventually gave in due to his parents. He kind of helped with kid A, but wasn't super hands-on. Things started going downhill, and his parents had fully shown themselves as toxic, codependent, manipulative, and self-absorbed. 2 years later, they had another kid. During the pandemic. After kid B was born, Mark completely shut down and became hands-off. Things were so bad that basically Mark is just like his parents. Mark has some self-awareness that his behavior results from his parents inflicting trauma on him, but he flat out refuses to go to therapy or take meds. Instead, he self-medicates with booze, devil's lettuce, and mushrooms. Ava does everything in caring for the kids and running the household, while Mark works for his dad and really doesn't do much to help. About 3 years ago, things really came to a head. He was explosive and never offered a scrap of attention or interest in her life or feelings. I was visiting Ava in person around this time, and she confessed all these troubles because she was too ashamed to tell me before. She also confessed that she was basically having an emotional affair with a previous ex that turned kind of physical with nudes and videos being sent, plus one hotel room meetup. This guy lived across the country and was also married. I think talking to him was a fantasy realm that she could escape to, while enduring heck with Mark and being a married single mother. I was empathetic that she needed to start divorce proceedings because I feared for her and the kids' safety and mental health. I told her that she should get into therapy and find a new job to disentangle from her mother-in-law. She logically agreed, but kept speaking to the ex and just kept treading water at home. Contact with the ex eventually fizzled with him going silent for months. A close call with an accident at home led to Mark blowing up on Ava, when in reality the accident happened due to Mark's negligence. When Ava and the kids needed support, he only cast blame. This incident was a breaking point, and Ava had a very frank discussion with him, all but threatening divorce, but never saying those words. For a few months, he seemed to be better and trying, although his idea of this was still only about 50%. To no one's surprise, things devolved again with Mark. Early this year, a rare thing happened for Ava. She was able to travel alone to a week-long work training course in a different state. This is where Ava met Ron, because he too was at this training as they work for the same company but in different states. There was an instant attraction and chemistry between them. Mind you, all I am about to tell you, I didn't find out until a month or two after when she confessed to me all the details in person. Ron has a girlfriend, but that didn't stop him. They flirted and talked all week in training classes and went to dinners. On the last night, he came to her hotel room and they made out and had spicy relations. They went back to their lives in different states but kept talking basically 24/7. She claimed their connection was cosmic and that they had so many common interests. I was uncomfortable with all this and said, is he really that great, or is he actually just meeting the bar and you don't know what normal looks like because the bar is in heck with Mark?
Dang.
I mean, gotta love an honest friend.
Tell her how it is.
Tell her how it is.
What you did.
Yeah. She insisted that he truly was well above the bar, but I remained skeptical. Fast forward a few months, and it's basically another full-blown emotional affair. Working in the same industry, they conspired to meet at a conference in another state. Ava's mother-in-law was also going to this conference, but Ava made separate travel arrangements with Ron. She flew to Ron City's airport, then they flew out together to the conference location. They also arranged to have adjoining rooms. Now, this entire time, I'm telling her not to have spicy sleep with him, that there's no going back. She said she thought he was going to tell her that he loved her. Okay, not what we want to hear right now.
No, not where that should be going,
Like,
Ava.
what? Like, make sure you don't sleep with him. And
She's like, I didn't. I just confessed my love for him.
Well, she thought that he was going to tell her.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, well,
We didn't sleep
actually,
together.
I think he's going to tell me that he loves me. So,
So, like, don't even worry about it.
don't even worry about it.
Because we're in love.
We're in love. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I told her all my fears and my advice, again. Logically, she understands, but the pull to have a shred of happiness and love was too strong. She went radio silent on me for a long time until I finally asked her what happened that week. They did, in fact, have spicy sleep. A lot of it. Ron even brought his dad, who also works for the same company and was attending the conference, to meet her. Introducing your affair partner to your parents?
That's wild. Even more wild for the parents to not be like, hey, shut this down.
Yeah, right?
Like, I know ultimately they can't control him too, but that's wild that they're like willing to basically help him have an affair.
Yeah, like,
or help him cheat.
I'm assuming he hasn't broken up with his girlfriend, and so the dad's just like, we've all done it. Like,
right?
Dad's like, yeah, I did that to your
runs
brother.
in the family.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ron's dad apparently knew all about Ava and brought her a gift. I told Ava this was incredibly weird, but she said that she thought it was sweet. Ron is still with his girlfriend, by the way. He claims that they're on the rocks, but their social media accounts portray otherwise. I told Ava a good man would not cheat, no matter the circumstances, and she just said, well, I'm not a good person either then. I said that there's more nuance here because while I don't agree with her choices, I can understand why she's been pushed to this, given Mark's harmfulness and her just wanting a scrap of something that feels like love and adoration. Their week-long rendezvous was a few months ago. I barely hear from Ava anymore, which makes me very sad. She used to leave me voice notes all the time, giving me updates about her and the kids. She knows all my thoughts on the matter, and I think that she's gone radio silent because she knows that I don't agree, and she probably doesn't want me to continue holding her accountable. I've told her several times that I love and support her, but I don't agree with how she's handling the situation. I would never dream of telling Mark because I would legitimately fear for Ava and the kids' safety. I've asked 1 or 2 times since the week of consummation if Ava has contacted a lawyer yet. She said that she was going to call to make a consultation appointment. She told me that same thing 3 years ago. Yeah, so I don't really believe her there. Not one bit.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting much to change if she's
Yeah.
so in the mindset of like, well, like, yeah, he's a horrible person, but like, yeah, like, I'm down.
Yeah, right? Like,
okay.
all right.
You're acknowledging that, and then if you guys get together, he'll probably just cheat on you, so like.
Yeah, exactly. I think she's afraid that she will lose her job with her mother-in-law if she files for divorce, and I told her that she could easily get another job in this field. She makes way more money than Mark, by the way. I've told her many times, the longer that she keeps the kids around Mark, the more chance of them to have issues. Yeah, do it for the kids. I grew up with a very similar father, and I told her from experience that her kids will grow up with so many issues. Again, logically, she agrees that it would be better to remove them from the situation than to feign a marriage for the sake of the kids. I've even offered to pay for a deposit on an apartment and the first month or two of rent for her and the kids to move out. I've offered to speak to a lawyer on her behalf to keep it anonymous so Mark doesn't find out. She ignores my offers. So basically, how things stand now is she's having this affair with Ron, still unhappily married to Mark, entangled with awful in-laws, and still doing nothing to make moves to divorce, get a new job, or move out. I think she's just surviving, treading water while living for these glimmers of false hope or love or happiness via this affair. And you can find happiness via full episodes of stories just like this one. Just go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever favorite podcast app you have, and search OK Storytime. That's where you'll find happiness. We have more to this story, but yeah, it's tough.
I get the whole like fear because you probably would lose your job.
Yeah,
if mother-in-law really is still like defending Mark, even though he's awful.
Yeah,
but like, can we find another job?
I mean, OP was saying that it would be easy to do that, so I feel like he totally could.
Yeah, I'm like, let's do it. You said it'd be easy, so let's.
Yeah, it's hard because it's like if she's in this like harmful relationship, I can understand that being hard to get away from.
Right.
But it's still like she seems to know that that's the best move.
Right.
Which is like the hardest part.
Right. So I get like now the part would be getting the ability to leave. My thing is like, sure, I judge her a little less for having an affair because it's like she's stuck.
Yeah.
At the same time, maybe we can do it with unmarried people.
Yeah,
but
right? Like, I know.
Like, I don't think that's the way to go to, like, also break up other relationships.
Yeah.
But
like, in his case, it's like, okay, why are you still with that girl? Like, I just don't understand 2 years with that. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's like if you are having problems with your relationship and you, like, already know that you don't want to be with that person. And
you're
so
unhappy.
And you're being with this other person. Just be with that person.
Right.
Like, I wonder if part of the reason that she doesn't want to commit to this whole thing is because she doesn't think that the affair partner or whatever his name is going to like actually step up and be a good partner. Ron. Yeah.
Ron.
Which I mean they shouldn't get together either.
No,
way.
I don't think they should get together at all.
No.
But
like
she definitely needs to get out of her relationship. Ron needs to
Yeah.
get out of his. And then they need to respectfully take their time to heal and find their own
Totally.
relationship.
Yeah, I think she knows that Ron is not going to be a good partner.
Yeah.
So she should not like
Yeah.
like that he's not going to commit. Maybe Ron's even convincing her like no, just like stay in the relationship now.
But
It'll be
it's an
soon.
icky one.
Yeah.
She can't stay in the icky one.
She can't. And if Ron was a good man, he would know that. But
we know Ron's not a good man because he's cheating on his girlfriend of 10 years.
Exactly. I'm truly at my wit's end and don't know what else I can say or do to help her improve her and the kids' situations. It makes me so sad how many years she has wasted with being with Mark when she could be living in peace and happiness. I only want the best for her and the kids. They deserve peace and happiness. What else can I do to help her take the next step? Should I stop asking her for updates and stop offering my help? It's hard for me to disconnect because I love them and I truly do fear for their safety and mental health. And that's the end of that story.